Hey everybody, and welcome to The Damage. I am The Damage, so welcome to me, and also welcome to my friends, because tonight it is time for the return of Stonemoss Abbey, our live D&D show. Hey everybody, I hate to break into the middle here, but we had a little bit of a problem in the recording of this stream. Actually, the entire stream itself crashed a little more than halfway through. I don't know why it happened. Twitch just completely went down, and it took out my recording with it. So my recording was corrupted, my audio was corrupted, everything got corrupted, and I had to download the VOD and re-edit from that. So in case you're wondering why the resolution isn't as good, why the audio might not be as good, or why there's a weird jump cut kind of near the end, that's why I had to stitch everything back together. Apologies for the lateness of this upload. This has been a lot of work. Anyways, let's get right back to it. For now though, I think we are set to get going here, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up my friends. Hey everybody, how's it going? You are live.
Hey there.
Hey there.
So I'll kick off with myself. I am The Damage. I'm going to be playing Captain Neural Forms, who is a Gerbine, or hare, and he's a fighter. He's a former bandit who's trying to reform his life a little bit, but is still very much rough around the edges. And next up we have Nuime. Would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, I'm Nuime. I play Kayla, who is a rogue scout and a Mistral Falcon. Mom. And apparently very good at talking people into not doing very silly things that would have been very bad for them.
Every party needs a team mom.
Yep.
It's me.
Whether they want to be it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sure Kayla's gonna be like, ugh, why me? Why me?
And mind you,
That's if we
the
live that
team
long.
mom doesn't have to be female, you know.
Nope,
Just
never.
Somebody has to be the voice of reason.
Yep. And
Yep.
because the rest of us were so unreasonable, it wound up being you. It certainly
Oh.
couldn't be me.
I mean, Kayla almost did kind of like go off and
Yeah.
like do a really stupid duo thing. But hey, it didn't work. So not dead.
Not dead is the best kind of alive.
Yet.
Yes.
Not dead yet. There we go. Who knows what's in store for us this session? All right.
Right.
We've also got Nomad with us tonight. Want to introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, I'm Nomad. I play Theron Thistlebrush, the Way of the Kinsey Monk, swordsman of Stonemoss Abbey.
Yep. And Theron is pretty darn cool. We are currently in a bit of a predicament. We need to get a move on to Maple Crest because Theron's father is the captain of the guard and has been challenged by Lorik Stone, or I almost said Stoneheart, Thornheart. I was conflating Stonemoss and Thornheart there, to single combat. So we're gonna get a move on to save Theron's dad. And we've also got Dow Spoons with us tonight.
Good evening, everybody. I am Dow Spoons. I will be playing Sage Recall, the Divine Soul Sorcerer, Clever Corvum. And on a personal note, I am currently besieged by two cats who are very interested in the remnants of my dinner.
When are you not besieged by cats?
That's a fair question. The answer appears to be never.
And now the only one of us not besieged by cats is our DM, and the one who has written this entire campaign and run it for us and made all these maps, the amazing Rastivar.
Thank you very much. I am Rastivar, and I am playing everybody else in this campaign. And this is just continued to be a blast every session. Always looking forward to seeing what happens. So, yeah, anything else we need to take care of before we get into it?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to kill the music and we can push on right ahead.
All right. So, last time on Stonemoss Abbey. It is a race against the dawn. A fierce battle against a pair of bramble-cursed peritons left our heroes at the limits of their strength. After finding what rest they could in a treetop shrine, and revealing some of the mysteries bound within the fabled Sword of Gaspard. Nyril forms, Keela of the Emperor Guard, Sage Rakaw, and Theron Thistlebrush began their midnight journey back across the Ashlands toward the besieged city of Maplecrest. Standing in their way, the home of Lorik Thornheart himself, the ruined city of Alkheim. Within its walls, they found citizens reanimated by the bramble, seemingly rehearsing the routines of their last days with no awareness or reason, plodding through the streets under the watchful eye of blights and moss wolves. Following clues left by Trill Dawnfeather, they searched an underground laboratory for key ingredients to a cure for the bramble's infection. And then, called by the chime of church bells, they cautiously followed a procession of the dead into the cathedral at the center of the city, where they found the animate wooden form of Idara Thornheart, Lorik's wife. With her shaping magic, she illustrated for them the story of how Lorik, 200 years ago, defeated the bramble, then fell while defending the refugees from the fires of the Great Calamity, only to be resurrected by a new bramble outbreak growing from the withered elm. She then opened a passageway into the catacombs beneath the cathedral, indicating that there was something they must do in the tunnels below. And that is where we are going to rejoin the game. You are in the Cathedral of Alkheim, underneath the great alder tree that grows out through its roof. You can see, looking straight up, its branches are poking out through the broken open rooftop of the sort of what was once a basilica dome overhead. This tree, which is the only green that the only healthy hale green you have seen since entering the Ashlands. All the other vegetation has been red, brown, or black, and you are surrounded by a very unusual congregation of blights and moss wolves who seem to be attending to Idara's sermon, as it were. She has just finished illustrating the story on the trunk of the alder, and is beckoning you toward the open staircase.
So, I guess that means we're going down then. And Nyril's gonna pull out a torch, and before he lights it, he looks around, recalling this area, how badly this entire area is scarred from the fires of the Great Calamity, and he just kind of lightly, taps at the torch before pulling out his striker to make sure everybody knows he's not intending to burn anything else.
Idara doesn't flinch.
All right then. And he will go ahead and strike up the torch, so we've got some light to see by. And
all right,
mount the steps to head on down. He's holding the torch in his right paw, but he's still got the shield in the left. It's not up and ready, but it's still there, just in case.
Alrighty, so we will move on into the cloister.
As we start to head in, Rakaw will also activate the glow crystal that's tied to his staff.
All right, so that's, I believe both the torch and the glow crystal essentially have the same lighting abilities, 20 feet of bright light and then 20 feet of dim light beyond that. The glow crystal just has a steady, soft blue-green glow to it. And you step down into what seems to be a very simple stone foyer. You can definitely see the evidence of scorch marks across the stone where the fire has scoured its way down into these catacombs. There appear to be two passageways leading off of this room. Both of them are choked by bramble vines.
course. She, Now, I don't remember her saying if there's one way we're supposed to go. Did she say?
No.
Not that I can think of.
Well,
And again, we didn't really ask.
yeah, I suppose that's kind of our fault. Still. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You know what? Let's just pick this one. He's going to go the one on the right. Well, his right.
If I may.
And as a test, he's going to just reach the torch out near the bramble to see what it does in reaction to the flame.
As the flame comes close, the vines begin to sort of shudder slightly.
You, might want to part there, mate. I'm going to keep coming close. He's going to keep pushing the torch closer to it still.
As the flame just begins to lick at some of the leaves, they curl away and crumble into ash. The vines begin to split reluctantly, opening up the way forward into the next room. Let me reveal that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you kindly there, Vines.
Hello, room.
Gnarl's gonna
Friends.
come into the doorway to look in.
Very simple room that seems to have been crammed with cots. That right now all that's left of them is metal frames. Even those are mostly decayed and falling apart. You do see two figures apparently sleeping on two of the cots. They're stretched out on their backs and motionless. You recognize them as the needle blights you've been seeing along your journey. However, these seem to be wearing some form of clothes. You've not seen that before. It's also an advanced state of decay. It looks like whatever fabric was there has begun to be eaten away by their plant-like bodies. Again, only some scraps of leather and metal, possibly remnants of armor, still remaining.
Mm.
So we've got some friends here. I mean, limbs up above weren't hostile, so let's hope these aren't either. Still, I'll be ready. And he's going to slowly advance into the room.
Yep. Darren's gonna go in behind him and just kind of do a, kind of a little shush to the ones behind him. We're gonna creep in quietly, I guess. I am, at least.
Yep, definitely going quiet as possible. Well, the intention to go as quiet as possible.
All right. Let's have a stealth check from everybody, please.
I am so glad I don't have that half-plate armor anymore.
Right?
All right, D&D Beyond. Let's see what your dice are feeling like today.
I mean, it could go worse.
Could be worse.
I was all stealthy.
Doing pretty decent so far.
Nairo just goes invisible like the Predator.
A very short predator. Oh no.
Well, so just so you know, with these sorts of group checks, what we're looking for is a group win. It's not, I'm not going to sink you because of one bad roll. So yeah, with those excellent first few rolls, I'd say, Rakaw is about to step on a loose rock and Keela notices and just stops him, shifts him over to the side, and you manage to make your way in quietly. There is absolutely no response from either of the blights. Again, as you walk through, you see a subtle pulsing of the tangled thorns and briars that make up their bodies. It almost looks like breathing, but isn't quite right for a breathing creature. Keela, as you step into the room and look over, you notice a glint of metal down by where the belt would be for this fellow right here.
Oh
That
no!
fellow there.
Every rogue's.
I know, right?
weakness.
Shinies. But it's like where a belt buckle might be, probably.
On the side, like around the hip.
Oh, well, that's no good. That's more tempting.
I'm sure it's just a belt buckle.
I'm trying to think of. No,
One of those side
Keela's
belt
not
buckles.
your average rogue. Keela's not going to be like, ooh, loot the body of the potentially murderous thing that's sleeping. Another of my characters, yes. She's going to just be like, oh.
Yeah, but you are with a former bandit too. He'll support you if you go for it.
I know.
In his best library volume, Recall will go, "Why are we stopping?"
With the amount of light, can Keela see potentially better what it is if she gets a little closer?
Sure. Make me a perception check.
Awesome. Go, dice, go. I need to turn up the... Could be
Okay.
better.
Well, you're able to get a little bit closer, and you notice that it looks like a ring with several metal objects hanging from
That
it.
would be handy. See, now we're talking like actual utility versus greed. Yeah, a ring of keys would definitely be handy. Oh,
You
God.
notice that one of them is significantly larger than the other, a thicker barrel, and it appears to be much better preserved. The others definitely look like they've seen some wear.
Yep, we're gonna go try and take that because
Okay.
she's gonna be like, I think it has keys.
So you crawl your way over the mostly ruined metal cots. I need a sleight of hand check, please, or sleight of wing.
I'm a small burb. Oh, why?
All right.
Why?
You
Bad roll.
reach in, you manage to figure out where it's looped among all this tangle of rotted cloth and plants that have interwoven, and you begin working it free. You hear a slight clink as the keys knock together and you freeze, and nothing seems to happen. And then you pull it a little farther and you think you've got it, and you pull it free and snap. It's a little bit of twig that you hadn't noticed that was looped through the ring that just broke open, and you see the creature begins to rise.
It's all right, mate. You just had a nightmare. Go back to sleep.
Hey, it's okay.
It stands up, looks down, and sees you with the keys, and it's going to... And let's roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh, sorry.
This was still a good decision. I still support this.
Click,
Still support
remember
this.
to click your character first.
Hello. Click person. Click
Yay.
thing. There we go. Hey, look at
dang.
Raka.
Ooh,
What?
Dang.
Oh, wow.
look at that
Yeah,
big
Raka
19.
is up and ready. All right, so let's... Okay. Theron has a higher dex, so you're up first as these creatures begin to rise.
Yep, he's just watching this whole thing just go by in like slow motion. And as soon as that thing looks down at the keys and starts to like puff up, he's already in motion. And he's gonna just down here as quick as he can and just not even really have time to draw his sword. Just come in with a kick and just go ahead and lay into this thing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. That's definitely going to hit.
Not great on the damage, but yeah, just 1 foot then the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that also hits.
Nice.
And with the bonus action as well. We'll go into it one more time.
Sure.
Just 2 kicks and a punch.
He also
And
hits.
and as he wheels around, he gets his sword drawn out and in front of him.
All right. 3 very quick and effective kicks, and you see one knee goes splintering off. Looks like it's thoroughly dislocated, but it begins to start snapping back in place. You catch him across the jaw. He goes and his head's backward. It slowly comes back around, but you're doing some serious damage. It is just barely keeping on its feet right now. Anything else?
That is my turn.
All right. Nyril, you're up.
Alrighty. Has the other one over here started to stir yet, or is it still asleep?
It has.
Okay.
Oh.
In that case, Nyril is going to bound over here next to it. He'll be shifting the torch into his shield hand and drawing the Sword of Gaspard, and he is going to attempt to just drive that sword deep into where he guesses this thing's heart might be. So let's see how that goes.
All right.
Does a 15 hit?
15 is going to hit.
Alrighty.
And yeah, you ram it deep in there. It is definitely staggered back and unsteady and leaning against the wall, trying to recover itself. Not
And
quite dead yet.
as it does that, he's going to drag the sword back and then just kind of try to flick around and try to take the thing through the throat.
All right.
With a 13.
13 actually does hit.
Thank goodness.
And with that, blade goes right through, and it's like you have pulled the one string that was holding it together. It falls down into this pile of constituent thorny brambles, and it's gone.
And then he's going to, because he moved 10 feet. Oh, let's see, 10 feet up to here. So he will move back to support the others. He can't really get in close enough to do anything.
Okay. And that'll bring us to Rakah.
Well, since we only have one left, Rakah will he will assess the situation, vaguely remember that these things may heal if left to their own devices, and send out a wave of blinky crows to cast Toll the Dead.
All right. I think a wisdom save, is that?
Wisdom 16, yes.
Okay, a 9 is not going to do it.
Nope. And it's taken damage, so 2d12 necrotic.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And that is enough. So it similarly, the crows surround it with a resounding "Caw!" and it begins to shudder and dissolve. And all that is left is this pile of rotting plant and cloth.
Ew.
I will modify that just slightly.
Sure.
The crescendo of the crows, instead of it just purely sounding like a bird call, it has this little sound like it's trying to say, "Sleep." And that's all.
All right, and the with that, the vine blight is nevermore.
Mm.
I hope that doesn't come back to bite us. Them upstairs were not hostile.
Right.
I guess we should have done that.
Can't undo it.
That was self-defense.
No.
We may need what he had. So
Yep.
Uh, Recall, could you roll perception for me, please?
Ooh.
Something about the remnants of the clothes these things were wearing reminds you of the armor that Lorik wears.
Mhm.
But they're not like a plant-like recreation. It's their actual armor, separate from them, correct?
Yes, and the
Okay,
armor is still there. It's badly decayed. It's very old.
gotcha.
Um, and I would say you also, though it's a much older style, you recognize some of the designs familiar to the perch guard in Humblewood.
Uh, Keela, do you notice this design? Does it look familiar to you?
Not really.
Oh,
Eh,
seems a little perch guardy to me. I don't.
well, we're the Ember Guard, not Perch Guard, mate.
I know. Not exactly military though.
Wonderful.
Heavens.
You want someone who's got Perch Guard knowledge. She kind of motions towards Nyril.
I mean, maybe not the knowledge you all would like, but I can take a look. He'll probably come around to inspect the armor.
Oh, sure. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Oh, goody.
You can't really make much of it. Now that Rakah has pointed it out, you can sort of see the resemblance, but it's not the style you're used to by any means.
I mean, it's possibly pitch guard, but I can't make out the unit or type, nothing like that. It's just gone. Either that if they just don't use this anymore.
It strikes me a little similar to what Lorik wore. I can't put my
Hmm.
finger on the why of it, but just there's a resemblance, it feels like. I wonder if these were guards under him back when he was, well, himself.
Stands to reason. The rest of the town seems to be, well, the people who lived here.
I guess if that's the case, we shouldn't feel too bad about putting these two to rest.
Not really. I mean, we'd like to free him, but they should have been dead and gone a long time ago.
That and I don't know if there's much left to free in these two.
I don't think so.
Well,
Oh no. Fortunately, this whole place is one graveyard that just don't know it needs to be one yet.
Well, maybe we can put some more souls to rest before this is done.
Hopefully. Well, keys are gonna be helpful. I hope. Shall we go?
all right. I'll take point in case anything else comes up. At least I've got a shield. He's gonna move ahead and to what looks like another bramble wall.
Yep.
All right,
Once
well,
again,
let's see how you like this. He's gonna just shove the torch in it and just kind of wiggle it around.
there is a high-pitched screech and skitter as the bramble wall begins to peel apart. And actually, let me reveal the room.
Mm. Ooh.
And also, the bramble wall just begins to break into parts and fall to the ground in the form of a bunch of little twig blights
Oh no.
that, as soon as they see you, they begin to scatter.
Oh.
So these are going to flee over in this direction. They're just little wooden feet pitter-pattering on the stone floor. As these move away, Nyril, you would get an attack of opportunity if you want it.
Yes, I do. Do not like these little
Okay.
fellas.
On which one?
On the one directly in front of him.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack. Yeah, that'll hit.
Kaboom!
I mean, it's... how do you want to absolutely annihilate this one little creature?
Oh.
I think he was surprised and seeing the massive bodies at first. He thought it was one large thing, and so he just winds up for the biggest hit that he can possibly deliver and just slams that sword down and just completely explodes it into little bits of kindling and tinder.
Yeah, it goes flying everywhere, and the other one just ducks, and it's going to rush back here and hide behind this suit of armor.
Poor little things.
What the? Oh, it was more than one. Oh, good grief. I thought it was a big one. Not bad.
Well, could be worse.
As you begin to cautiously move in, you see the rest of the little twig blights looking back at you. They jump into this next wall and seem to merge into it and then disappear.
Oh, come on. You can't just surprise a guy like that and then expect to not get hit. I mean, good grief.
Right, you little guys.
Where you headed there, Keela?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so this room is definitely better furnished than either of the ones you just left. Looks like it may have been a study of some sort once upon a time. Heavily scorched. The only furniture that remains is anything that was hardy enough to sustain the scouring flames, and it all looks like it's probably a few good taps from collapsing anyway. The chest seems to be reasonably in good shape. The key, or the lock that's hanging from the chest, definitely looks like it's damaged. There is also in front of the suit of armor, a larger trunk that is also locked with two padlocks.
No, it's 2 padlocks. There has to be something good in there.
Well, let me get the little one open first.
Yeah.
Then we'll handle the big one.
I'm going to take a look at this armor. No,
So the lock on the small chest looks like it's damaged. Would it be like enough you could just knock it basically off with like the butt of a dagger?
You could definitely try.
We'll give that a go first.
the ultimate DM response.
I know, right?
So make an
Good try.
attack roll.
With the dagger, I suppose.
Mhm.
Just smack.
Yep. With that, I mean, you give it a pretty good jar, but it wiggles back and forth. It doesn't seem to be breaking.
Oh, fine. Then we're gonna lockpick it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your
Sleight of.
sleight of wing.
God.
Oof.
It seems to be pretty well fused. You get those picks
They
in
can
there,
lock
and
it.
you can't find any motion in the tumblers. So it might have been melted together.
Someone else want to go take a crack at this one? I'm gonna go look at the big one.
Yeah.
Just grumpily like walking away from it.
Rakaw is going to like take a few steps towards the Heidi twig blight and like extend a wing, being like, "Hi, how are you? It's safe. Come out."
What are you even doing?
That's one of the little fellows.
Didn't see that one.
trying to be nice. I'm hoping
Oh.
it works out different this time.
Roll
Maybe.
a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Can I help him by also doing the it's all right, little one?
I don't think I need
Oh,
help.
wow.
You don't
Wow.
need it. You know,
Oh,
You are one persuasive bird.
or call a twig
Uh,
whisperer.
Very slowly, you see the little head
Yeah.
rise up over the chest, tilting one way then the other, and it looks up at you, then looks at Nyril, and goes,
I'm sorry, I missed that. I had tail in my face.
just,
Hmm.
just aggressively wags its little twiggy finger in
Oh.
Nyril's direction.
Okay. Rakal will gesture to Nyril with his free wing to back up.
All right. Just before I do, could you hand me that frying pan you got out of that bag? I need it for something.
Ow.
Okay.
I don't want it to seem like I'm gonna sneak attack this thing.
Well, I was gonna go sneak attack that lock, but I can do that later.
Now the twig blight slowly climbs up over the trunk, and even standing on top of the trunk, it only comes to just below your collarbone. It is very tiny. It's smaller than Keela.
Yeah.
Ow.
Very small.
Hey, little one. How you doing? I know you can't really understand me, or at least I think you can't. Just the general gist of it. I don't know. Has anybody ever talked to you before? Sarfang, this is not opportune for her son. Please settle. Anyway, hey, little guy. What you doing okay? You it's all right. You can come say hello. We're not gonna hurt you. At least not when we're not surprised.
It just reaches up and with a finger pokes in the center of your chest, like feeling you out, and then reaches up and pokes at your beak. Then with a little fist knocks on it, tap tap.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a walking, talking bird friend. What you got any fun places in here? Anywhere that you and your friends like to hang out?
He points to the wall where the bramble cluster had just been.
Oh, you just like chilling in the hallway, huh? Doesn't seem like there's much to do in a hallway, but who am I to judge? Is there anything else around here? Anybody else other than you and your little friends?
Looks at you and nods.
Are they big and mean, or small and friendly, or in between?
Tilts his head, like thinking, and then he spreads his arms as wide as they will go.
Oh, well. Um, do you want to be friends?
Seems to be thinking for a little bit. And then he jumps and clings to your arm.
Ah,
Ah,
Rakaw's got himself a Groot.
oh,
bubbles.
well, I wasn't expecting this to happen today. Ah, this has been quite a trip. Hey, little guy, let's go over this way, and I'll sort of, um, lead him in the direction to be out of the way of other people investigating the trunk and whatnot.
All right.
Oh, he's cute. Yes.
So
Time for more lockpicks.
All right, go ahead and
Dice.
yep,
Okay, that's much more like it.
that
Thank
is much better. Yeah. So you get in there, and these locks, they're very, very old style, but you're able to figure your way around them, and some of the tumblers start knocking into place. And with a little bit of fiddly work, you manage to pop both of them.
Yay.
Yeah, fancy that, member of the guard being good with lockpicks. Nyril just smiles.
Never said I wasn't.
So, gonna open it up.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, opens up, and inside you see a wooden case, probably about 2 feet by 1 feet, and a scroll tube sitting on top of it.
Yes, Keel's going to very carefully open the scroll tube and hopefully take out a scroll that isn't just dust and be very, very careful with it.
Yeah, fortunately, the scroll is pretty well preserved, and a little sparkly. The ink is very shiny, very high quality. Possibly a little magic to keep it in good shape. And
Nice.
across the top, you see in a very flourishing handwriting instructions for the operation, care, and maintenance of Trildon Feather's auto fire crossbow.
Ooh!
Whoa.
Oh, dang.
Keel's just like,
Oh, dang.
oh! She's like, no way! Very excitedly opens up that box.
I have a quick question. If it's
Yes.
if that scroll is 200 years old, does that make it an elder scroll?
Yes.
Yes, it does. No,
And since we're online, does it make it an Elder Scroll online?
I guess so. We're
As
doing this.
As long as Keela doesn't go blind reading it, we're good.
Yeah,
okay.
that is what I was just
I
thinking.
was like, no. This is no.
Wrong franchise.
Yes.
And then Keelan went mad and started tearing her eyes out.
All right, you open up this case, and inside you see a crossbow that is considerably smaller than the one you have been using, but absolutely gorgeous. It looks pristine, like it could be a showroom piece. Deep mahogany tone to the wood elements with these very finely tooled golden scrolls all over it. And you can see in the stock just a hint of a very complicated clockwork mechanism.
Oh, wow.
And you actually look at the spot where you would load in your quarrel for the crossbow, and it looks like there's a sliding rack that can hold 2 bolts.
Ooh,
Oh my lord.
Nice.
neato. Yeah, Keela's very, very like, oh,
It's a semi-auto.
that's amazing.
All right, so I'm going to,
Thank you,
assuming
Trill.
Keela's going to look over this, I'm going to send you,
Oh,
Nuime, some details.
Oh, yeah. You'll think
And
she doesn't
while
even leave
you
us
are-
anything nice.
While you're reading over that, so one point of order is that this is a hand crossbow, not a light crossbow. It means it's
Okay.
shorter range. It doesn't have as big a damage die, but it has a few other nice little
Got some
perks.
perks. Yeah.
You have to hold it sideways when you fire it.
No.
We all know that Keela is already gangsta.
Oh yeah. All right. So while she is getting acquainted with her new best friend, what are the rest of you doing?
I think Nairo's gonna approach the table and kind of like, frying pan, if you don't mind.
Raka will pause. He's basically creating like little fireworks using prestidigitation to keep the little bramble boy entertained. And he'll fish around in the bag of holding and pass the frying pan to Nyril across the table.
Thank you kindly. That
Sure
thing is
thing.
cute in a very creepy kind of way.
I might have once been a kid. I feel bad for it.
I mean, I thought it was a big one, that's why I hit the one.
That's okay.
It's not like we haven't murdered, dozens of these by now.
It's not like there's not some benefit to putting them to rest.
Theron was actually checking out the armor thing right here.
Yeah, sure.
Just looking at it, not getting all close to it and grabby or anything.
Hang on, I'm checking on one thing quickly here.
Yeah, go ahead and pull up its stat block. Here we go.
This armor curses you simply by looking at it.
This is Basilisk armor.
So you can see that this probably was an entire suit of armor. Most of it has rotted and burned and crumbled to ash. However, at the center, there is a what looks like a shirt of very fine chain with very tiny rings. Still, it is covered in soot, but otherwise seems to be unspoiled.
Strange. I will see if I can get a closer look.
Sure. So it definitely looks like a shirt of chain.
So like, if I kind of reach up and dust it off, I mean, is it very obviously like beautiful and shiny underneath?
Yes. So you and as you work on it, you actually notice it seems much, much lighter than any chain armor you've ever handled before.
Which is not a whole lot, so.
Yeah.
It's strange.
And the texture is almost silky.
Than this. Almost feels like fabric.
Really? Just look at it from look at the scroll, looking at the crossbow.
I'm gonna see if I can get it off of the thing.
Sure. Give me a sleight of hand check. Okay. Yeah, with that, you're able to, you see that part of it's about to fall over just because the rest of it is just so knackered. You manage to catch it before it makes a really loud crash, and you are able to get the armor up off of this this sort of mannequin underneath that was holding it and holding its shape. And it indeed is amazingly light.
This is quite interesting.
Yeah. What you got over there? Gnarl asks. He's about to smash the lock off with the frying pan, but he's now interested.
Well, it looked like armor, but it feels like clothing. Strange.
Ed.
So yeah, thinking about armor then now. I see. I see. And he just kind of thumps his chest plate. Winks.
I just, I wonder if this could be useful for someone that needs it.
Well, let's see. Roll a history check. Yep, you have no idea what this is.
Give me a moment, and we can take a look if you want. And Nirel's is going to go ahead and just use this frying pan and smash as hard as he can on this lock.
Okay, make me an attack roll, please.
I'm gonna just lay the armor out on the table here.
Okay. It's, I guess, unarmed strike. I don't have.
Actually, this would be the same as any non-magical weapon because you are proficient with improvised weapons.
Okay.
Finally using a scofflaw.
Finally,
Great.
yes.
All right. Yeah. You bring this pan down, and with a whack, that lock just goes splintering, and it falls off the chest. You also hear a very resounding crash echoing through all the hallways around you, and you hear a skittering noise as you seem to have spooked something.
Oh, good.
But the lock is open.
Hurry up.
He's just going to kick the lid open best as he can and step back. He's going to like kick it and step back just in case it's trapped.
No trap as far as you can tell. Inside, you see protected by a wooden frame, there are 2 bottles with a red fluid inside. It's familiar and welcome, as you found 2 potions of greater healing.
Nice.
Ooh, the good ones.
He's gonna.
You also see. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say he's gonna grab those and just kind of extend them out, like, who wants one, who wants one, kind of thing. Offering the others before himself.
You also see an incredibly delicate and beautiful small wooden statue. It's a round pedestal on which there are 2 figures, a stag and a doe, standing in an embrace and wearing ornate-looking robes as they look at each other. And at the bottom of this statue, there is a sort of wrapped around the base, there is a delicate silver chain, and hanging from the chain is a large, fiery-looking pearl.
That'll fetch a pretty penny. But he's going to look back at the others. This really isn't the time to be thinking about loot. Recall, you want to take a look at this, see if it means anything to you?
Okay. Little guy, would you be okay if I called you Anthony or Tony for short?
It just tilts his head back and doesn't seem to give much meaningful response.
I'll take that as a maybe. Stay there, Tony. I'll be right back, okay? And with a last little puff of sparks, ending the firework display, he will come over and take a look at what Nyril is offering.
Climbs onto the table and sits down cross-legged. So you look at this little statue. Give me an Arcana check.
What if instead I give you an Arcana check?
Have you tried an Arcana check, though?
Good point. Good point.
All right. So, looking over the statue, you notice that it appears to be the figures appear to be wearing traditional Servan wedding robes. The necklace itself You aren't positive, but you feel like there may be a special significance to that pearl.
Do I notice any similarity to, for example, Lorik and is it Adira?
Idara.
Idara. I can never remember that middle vowel.
She's a deer.
Yeah.
So, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Ah. I wonder if this is a little token meant to celebrate Lorik and Idara's union.
I mean, I kind of guess that, but I ain't never seen a pearl that color before, so figured, you might know.
Oh, I'm not too sure. Do I actually know anything about what magic may or may not be present?
You have an inkling that there's something magical about this. With the 14, you're not able to identify it for sure.
All right. Well, I'd take a look, but my eyes are already a little tired. Next time we take a rest, maybe I can look at it a little more closely. But our worst case, if we finish what we're doing in here and go back and talk to Idara, maybe she'll know.
You should also look at this shirt that I found.
I might be able to take a look at that. Run through my fair share of armor in my time. Naira will come on over and, yes, take a look at it. See if you can determine anything else about it other than it being a chain shirt.
Sure. Give me history with advantage.
I'm gonna need it. I got a -1.
Okay.
Hey.
This is first of all, you realize right off the bat this is incredibly valuable. You've only seen one of these once, and it was a huge score on a very wealthy merchant's cart that you managed to knock over. And unfortunately, the other bandit group that you were working with nabbed it and hightailed it, and you never saw them again. This is very strong make. It is a kind of armor making that the technique has been lost to history. That's all you know. It was made by some civilization that predates anything that is known in Humblewood. And the remarkable thing about it is that it can be worn by people who aren't normally used to wearing armor.
Bloody Nora. Now that is quite the score. I mean, I'd gladly say I'd trade for it, but we're going to need all the help we can get, so you might consider putting that one on, mate. You that or maybe Rakar over here. Because that stuff's light, it's strong, it won't slow you down none. Maybe not quite as strong as this. He knocks on his chest plate again. But that'll do you some right good. I've only ever seen one of these before, and I didn't get to keep my paws on it. People will kill for these.
I can dodge attacks pretty well. Recall, may not be a bad idea for you.
I will admit I've taken my fair share of beatings recently.
Yeah, you might want to, work on getting out of the way. Maybe after this is all over, get some lessons from Theron on that, because I don't mean to be mean, but you just kind of stand there and get hit.
I mean, if you're trying to cast a spell, it requires focus. You don't run around casting spells a lot. It's just.
If he's standing there and getting hit, that's on us.
Anyway, let me see if there's anything that I can do to wiggle this on, and I guess I'll take the armor and try to do the tube number to fit it on my weird bird frame.
Yeah, it slips on surprisingly easily. You could either have it over your robes or underneath the top layer.
Underneath
feels...
the underneath the overrobe.
Yeah.
Partly to disguise it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it feels like you're wearing a snug shirt. And you have excellent freedom of movement. A little comforting, so it's like a little like having a weighted blanket on, but it's definitely is not impeding you, and you feel like you could cast spells just fine while wearing this.
Man, this feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Well, not armor anyway.
And you may add a set of elven chain to your inventory.
Ooh, nice.
It's an elf.
Exactly.
Right?
These things from history. They look kind of like you, but they had like even pointier ears. I mean, imagine if your ears look like mine, but were pointy. It looks ridiculous, and I think that's why they ain't around no more.
It's just weird.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ears like yours are ridiculous. Yes.
And I were about to say something nice, but now I won't. And in that case, you was raised rich. You've probably seen lots of jewels and whatnot. You want to take a look at that pearl? Maybe you know what it is?
Sure. I'll take a look at the pearl.
Sure.
Offer it.
Arcana.
Oh, I'm good at Arcana. Natural 19.
Well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Nice.
All right. So, yeah, I'll say you saw one of these come through the Abbey once. It was carried by a traveling spellcaster who said that it was really handy when you were all tapped out and you just needed a little something extra to get you through the day. It is a pearl of power.
Yeah. We had a mage somewhat like Recall come through once, and he said that these were really good when you just didn't have any reserves left. You could push a little bit harder.
How would that even work? Maybe if you drain the negative energy. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess I could see.
It's a pearl. Here.
Recall will take it, but mentally he's trying to put together how it works magically.
Yeah.
No reserves like his magic, or like if you're tired? What's it mean?
And so when you hear Pearl of Power, Recall, you actually do know exactly what this does. It allows you to regain some of the energy that you would use for spellcasting after it's already been spent.
Okay. Nice.
And specifically, it lets you regain a spell slot up to level 3.
Ooh.
Once per long rest.
Recall will kind of, do a little snap of his wing feathers, which, since they're feathers, I don't guess it makes much sound, but it's like, okay, yes.
Sort of sounds like a...
I got it. this could be very useful. Ah, man, I've been driving myself to the brink of exhaustion trying to cast spells these past couple days. And this'll help me refresh a little bit. Oh, well, this is an interesting room. I kind of made out like a bandit. No offense, I guess.
None taken if you don't mind the bandit helping himself to something here. He's going to go ahead and pick up that little wooden statue of what looks like Lorik and Idara, and that's just going to make its way into his pack.
Does anybody have potions of healing left over from, or is everybody tapped on potions of healing?
I have a greater, and that's it.
I have a regular one. That's why Nyril was offering those 2 greater ones to whoever needs them.
I have a greater and a regular, so Keela definitely does not need them.
Okay, I will take one of the graders and let you fight over who's not going to get the other grader, since nobody else wants it.
If you all have a greater, then I guess Nyril will keep a greater. So,
if you don't want it, I can always take it back.
No. We're learning to be friends and share, which is something Nyril did not do at the beginning of this campaign.
Look at the DM not encouraging teamwork.
Well, you know.
Also, I think I had a scroll of mirror image that I needed to add.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it 2?
1. Yeah.
Was it 2 scrolls or just 1 scroll?
It was just 1 scroll. The other scroll was a scroll of Thunderstep, and Rakah used it in the battle.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But what if you used mirror image on the scroll to make it into 2 scrolls? Then you'd have 2. But you'd only be able to use 1.
So it'd be mirrored and you couldn't read it then.
I mean, he can't read them now, so.
It is true. I don't know that, actually, I don't think.
Nyril definitely knows that he can't read them himself. So he's letting the others handle the scrolls.
Well, guess we should continue on. Hey, hey, Anthony. You know anything about what's in there? And he points down the hallway that the brambles retreated into.
And leans over to take a look, looks up at you, and nods.
Anything that might eat us or hurt us?
Shrug.
Well, I'm sold. Let's go. And that was perhaps the lightest amount of sarcasm Rakah has uttered.
All right.
As long as there ain't nothing else in here worth taking, he's going to take another glance around, looking at books, but they don't mean anything to him.
Oh, these books are... There's absolutely nothing salvageable.
Okay, so it's just a bunch of copies of 50 Shades of Grey. Got it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nothing worth taking.
All right.
Right.
So you cast some light further down, and you see another chamber with another wall of bramble to the north. And immediately across from you, what looks like an enormous arched iron double door that is completely covering the hallway at the end. You see some heavy chains that are wrapping around that door, keeping it barred, with 2 enormous locks hanging on those chains. You also see some roots have worked their way underneath the door and are spreading out from it. There is one more twig blight at the foot of the door, and as soon as it sees the light coming into the chamber, it looks back and then dives down and improbably manages to squeeze itself, flattening underneath the door frame, and disappears from view.
No.
Of course. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have hit that one. Well,
It's okay. You were scared.
I was thinking of you lot. I mean, you can go first if you really want. I can gladly step back and you can take point. Go for it.
Oh, okay.
Although-
Move on in.
Are these like vines and stuff on the floor?
You do see some roots that are snaking their way across the floor. They
Excuse me.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry, I just needed to cough.
That's all right.
I think as we see those, Nirel's going to remember the roots and vines and stuff inside the withered elm and how they liked to grab people. So he's going to look back to Keela and says, if any of us starts, running all nicey towards this stuff, just give him a whack. You got the Sandman.
Right.
Come on, Anthony. Let's go say hello to your friends.
Jumps up and clings to your arm again,
Her.
and just begins reaching with its little thorn claws and just running them up and down the length of your new chain shirt. Makes a little
Ooh.
raspy sound as it goes up and down.
Oh,
Almost musical.
Gonna
Isn't
give
it
this
neat?
root here a nudge with my toe.
It seems pretty solid. Doesn't move.
Is this just shelves or something over here?
Yes.
Okay. And a pot.
Mm-hmm.
Keela's definitely wary of this thing, though.
What's in the
Yes.
pot?
Yeah, now he's going to look in the pot.
You kind of have to climb up. It's on the top shelf.
Oh, means I'm getting it.
Okay. Nirel's just going to bound up to the top shelf
Yep.
and lean over with the torch.
the shelf breaks.
Oh,
Looks like ash.
Oh,
Whether it's
need
an
yourself.
urn or whatever was inside just got burned up by the fire.
Mm,
You're muted.
If there hadn't been a fire, this would be a lot easier, but I don't really want to disturb if that was someone. So I'll leave that one be. He's going to hop back down. Because it's just ash.
yeah, best not to mess with it.
So do we want to try this, or do we want to head this way?
Well, the thing about this bramble is it seems to be aware of what it needs to protect. Oh, God. Path of least resistance might not be the best way to go, really.
Rakah, can your new friend talk this bramble into letting us by?
you mean the one to the north?
Either way.
This
I
one.
thought there was like a iron door that was chained shut to the
Ah,
east, but maybe
Yes,
I'm
to the
wrong.
east, that is chained shut with two very large, heavy padlocks.
Okay, I thought it may have
Okay.
had vines
I
holding
thought
it.
it was, yeah, same.
Yeah.
All right.
There are roots that are growing out from underneath the door.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
I mean, I could always try to, singe that up there if we want to go up there, but we'd
it's
also
very
kind of on a
gently
schedule.
kind of hopping like,
Mhm.
from the roots to the locks.
Yep.
And then Yep. Play the same song.
Okay.
The big one.
Thieves' tools check.
Go.
Oh my
Ooh.
lord.
All right, we're not using these dice no more.
Yeah, you're. It's not just that you can't get in there to manipulate the lock. This lock is heavy, and your little tools don't seem to be enough. They're bending under the strain.
Do we still have that set of keys?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
used to
this-
using a key, and she flips through and grabs that one that's
See it?
quite bigger than the rest, and jabs it in the lock.
Yep. Goes in with a really satisfying metallic clunk. The lock falls off of its loop, and you're able to get one of the two locks off.
Kayla goes for the second one, just is like, well, in my defense, I'm not used to needing keys.
Oh no. I would want to see if I could do it too.
And then tries the big old key on the second lock.
Key goes in, it doesn't turn.
There's probably another key.
Probably. Maybe.
Well, we can check out the north room. Hey, Anthony, can you maybe ask the bramble wall to part for us?
Looks at you and then goes over to the bramble wall, steps in and completely merges with it. You see no sign of him, and then the wall, after a moment, shudders and then just parts very cleanly.
Interesting.
Thanks, little guy.
Well, that's handy.
And give me the reveal tool, please. Thank you. And yeah, he's then he steps out of the vines that are clumped against the wall.
Thanks, little buddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Thanks.
go and I'm gonna go and pet him on the head, and then I'm gonna fish around in the cluttered bag of holding to see if I can find something that is purely made of wood, whatever, and then give it to him as a treat.
Okay, roll a d6.
Roll a d6.
Ugh.
All right, so you reach in and you pull out a little toy top made of wood, shaped sort of like an acorn.
I'm gonna demonstrate how to use it, and then I'm gonna offer it to him.
It looks absolutely spellbound, and then takes it, cradling in its hands. Just staring at this top in absolute wonder.
Oh man, he's not even playing with it. It's just loves the top. Wow. I'm gonna hold up a wing finger and then like take the top and hold out my arm and try to spin it along my arm, to be cool.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. I'm great at those.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
You are
actually,
great at those.
Yeah, it actually manages to
Mhm.
coast for at least half the length of your arm. And the blight sees this, it's delighted, and takes the top, puts it on the top of his head, and is just standing there with the top on the spinning on the top of its head.
How cute.
Good job, little guy.
And now he's afraid to move.
Speaking of afraid to move, might watch your step there, Theron. That looks like a trap right in front of you.
Is that a trap right in front of me?
That is actually
Or something.
No, that's actually a sconce
Oh,
for
okay.
a lantern, for a candle.
It's only a sconce. I don't think it's trapped.
And
I
it
would
jumps
like to
out at you, and
Yeah.
sorry.
There you go. Oh no.
I would
Famous
like
last
to.
words.
I would like to remove the elven chainmail from this statue, please.
Okay, make an investigation check.
That's fair.
That's great. I love it.
There's
Not
no
my
elven
best roll.
chainmail. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
bum 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 bum. Wow.
Wait, you mean you couldn't find nothing over here?
Yeah. So on this statue, there is similarly a suit of armor that all looks incredibly knackered, except for the shield. Looks like it's in decent shape. Also, similarly covered in soot. Is a round shield surrounded by a steel band.
I was going to look at it and look at his back and forth. You mind if I take a look at that?
Sure.
I mean, you could use one if you wanted, but you know, he's gonna, I guess, inspect the shield.
Yeah.
So, what's this? Investigation?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. You take it off, and there's a slight resonant ring as it comes off of its moorings. It feels somehow more stable than your shield.
There's a big star in the center.
Appears to be incredibly well made. And if you clean away some of the soot across the front face, you find a field of green painted wood with a prominent boss in the shape of a stag's head. The antlers are curling up around the periphery of the shield, and where the points join in toward the center, they begin zigzagging into lightning bolts.
Cool.
Ooh.
It's it's a fair bit snazzier than Old Faithful here. Nobody minds if I go for this one, do you? I mean, I'll give you mine. he's very much not wanting to switch back to his own shield now.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. This feels nice. I mean, it's not a hair, but maybe it'll be able to distract Lorik. Like, oh, look at this one. He looks so much better than you. Ah. He's not all burned. Ah. This one contains more wood. Right. Ah. Okay, I'll stop. Sorry.
So you don't know all the properties of this shield, but you can, for the time being, add a +1 shield to your inventory.
Ooh.
Nice.
Obviously, Keela is inspecting this chest if there's locks, and if
Obviously.
any of the keys on the key ring will work in the lock, because why make our lives difficult?
There are 4 keys on the key ring.
All right.
The one is the big
old
chonker.
Yeah, obviously not that one.
Yeah.
The other ones look like they would fit. Maybe.
Yeah, roll me roll me a d4.
All right. A 4.
You go with your first guess, slide it in. You feel that little bit of resistance. It almost feels like it's not going to go, and then it opens up nicely.
Excellent. Let's open up the chest.
You open it up, and it does look like some of the fire managed to get into this chest. There is some documents in here that crumble at your touch. But a few pages seem to have at least some legible scraps. They look to be official military reports, scouting reports, something you're very familiar with. They seem to talk about firestorms spreading from the east, failed attempts to stop them with magic and irrigated water from the Ember Flow, and ultimately plans to evacuate the city and then build an underground shelter in the catacombs for those who cannot leave. You dig a little deeper and find blueprints for a complex of cloisters and storehouses sealed behind a vault door. You find a half-melted ring bearing a distorted crest of a stag's head over an anvil.
Interesting. And
you also, at the bottom, find another big, heavy key on a ring.
Yay! Right? Yeah. Cool. Keela's definitely gonna take the big ol' key and actually the partially melted ring as well.
All right. Yeah, the ring itself is decently heavy. Doesn't feel like something that would necessarily be worn on an everyday basis, but maybe as a signet seal.
Yeah. Okay. I think Keela's just gonna pocket that. Maybe it'll have a usage later.
Otherwise, everything in this room is pretty much ruined by fire. You see some tools that probably were used for the maintenance of armor and weapons, but they're mostly desiccated or disintegrated.
Okay.
I was hoping to find something on the table for Theron because everybody else has got something. So.
I got a belt.
You got what?
I got a belt. I got it last session.
That's right. Okay.
While you guys are all exploring the room, Rakaw has gotten out one of his books and quill and some ink, and he is basically drawing a picture of Anthony with a little top on his head into his journey journal.
Yeah, it's just passing by, looks at it and goes, "Oh, that's a fair likeness."
When I finish, I'm going to show it to Anthony. That's you. I drew you, buddy.
Looks over it and sort of flattens himself against the wall and actually flattens out a little bit as he partially merges into some of the foliage that's hanging there and tries to mimic the pose.
Oh, yeah, just like that. Good job. Good job. Don't forget your little top. I assume it fell off when he jerked, and I'll pick it back up and give it to him.
Oh, he picks it up, and he is once again cradling it very close.
All right.
You actually see as he pushes it to his chest, the wooden fibers of his chest open up, and the top sinks down inside.
Oh, that's a little creepy, but good on you. You found a spot to keep it. Good job.
Then he begins spinning.
Oh my. How am I ever gonna... Gosh, I gotta describe this somehow. No one's gonna believe this. You guys will back me up, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yep. I mean, Will, if...
Going for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe if you could do something for me here.
Just kind of letting them do it. Going straight for that other lock.
Goes in, turns, and the other lock falls off.
Right. Hey guys, got it open.
Yeah, just a moment. Be right there. Hey, Ricard, you ever see one of these? He's going to kind of hold the torch down in front of the shield and let it kind of glint a bit. He's cleaned as much as he can with one of his ruined sleeves.
Let me
Yeah,
think.
Rakah, go ahead and give it another Arcana check.
Hmm.
Ah, you see steam coming out of his ears.
Yeah, well, I mean, you recognize it as this looks like a magic shield. Beyond that, you really couldn't say what its properties might be.
Mm,
I'll say, let's see. You, as you're looking over it, you just experimentally, wrap your feathery knuckles on it, and you feel your hand bounced back with more force than you applied to it.
Mm.
that's new. Can I
Yeah, it's new.
Can
I
I-
mean, I just got it off that.
that not anyway? Can I cast prestidigitation at like the surface of the shield to see if the effect repeats?
Uh, what effect are you going for with prestidigitation?
I'm thinking like a little spark shower. See
Mhm.
if any of the sparks get pushed back.
Yeah, the sparks sort of bounce back off the
Mm.
shield, and you hear a little resonant ring as they do.
Hmm.
It's different.
Yeah. I'm not super big on magic equipment. It's just not my field of expertise, but I think you've definitely got something magic that'll push things off with force.
I mean, I could already do that with my old one. It's not exactly a weakling. He's got to like
Uh,
playfully shoves a little bit, but he's not actually like he's not shoving Ricard, but he's doing the motion.
Rakal falls over. No.
Holy bloody Nora! Hang on, sorry, mate. He's gonna reach down to help him up.
Thanks. No, but I mean, I think this adds to the power of the pushback. Whatever comes at you, if it impacts the shield, I think it's going to bounce off, and the shield has power. It's going to push it even further away. Maybe also do some damage. I don't know. I just got to think about this. Too much is going on. I just don't have time to think.
It'll be right handy if it does.
Mm,
Gotta say the grip's a bit more comfortable than my old one, so
yeah,
sticking with it regardless.
sure. Well, a worst case scenario, if we get a break in, maybe I can figure out what this might be. Take a closer look. But
Be willing
for
to
now,
do
I
that.
guess we can not resting time yet. We can push on and come back to it.
Yeah, is that little one gonna stop spinning? He's been spinning for a bit now.
It sort of staggers as it's spinning. It's going a little off center, and then it just tipsily wobbles over here, and then trips on one of the roots and falls. And you can see its head still going around.
Oh, hold on, little guy. I'll try to help him right himself.
I mean, yeah, spinning's a nice trick, but not always the most useful. Still, yeah, good job, little fella. He's gonna give it a wide berth so it doesn't think he's gonna attack it like he obliterated his little friend.
All right. So you come around the corner, you find that Keela has the other lock off the door already.
Well, I guess we need to open this.
Oh, he's gonna push open the door. Just oh no! You got the shield. You go front.
Yeah, sure thing. But before he does, he's going to pull out his pack and pull out the the other bottle of lamp oil that he has, and he's going to oil the hinges first. One thing I learned about getting into places what's locked, you usually don't want to make noise when you're doing it. So he's going to oil the hinges up and then try to push the gates open or the doors open.
All right. Give me a stealth check with advantage.
Alrighty.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
For as old as these hinges are, there's just a bit of a knock when they get going, and then they slide smoothly with no dramatic groan. And you push open to find a much larger room than any of the ones you've seen so far.
Mm. Mhm.
Fun fact, if you ain't got oil, if you got some, cheese what's about to go off, the oil from that works too.
Well, that's key now, but
So you see before you a large room with it looks like this room has been much better preserved from the fire than anything else you've seen down here. Few tables in the back, two more suits of armor that are preserved. They don't look like they have anything otherwise special about them.
aw.
You do see two passageways off to the east that appear to have been collapsed, covered from floor to ceiling with rubble. To the north, you see an awful lot of vegetation. And looking up, you see a few broken shafts of meager sunlight filtering down through some gaps in the flagstones that make up the roof of this catacomb. Underneath the light, you see a large, vacant well. You also see the remaining twig blights that had fled away from you before, and when they see you coming in, they suddenly jump up and begin skittering toward the well.
Wait. Rakaa will sidle his way in. Wait.
They are not listening. They all dive down into the darkness below.
Okay. Well,
Right, you're only gonna get one friend today.
I wasn't necessarily looking for more friends, but I was hoping to make peace with them at least. Don't want to have to fight them if things get thorny.
Ooh.
So far, they seem more interested in running away.
Yep.
Uh,
But, it seems that yours has grown on you.
hmm. Oh, he's a cute little sprout, I got to admit.
Oh no.
You do hear an echoing rustling sound from down in the bottom of the well after they have disappeared inside.
Hmm.
Yesterday we was up at top of a tree. Now we're going down a hole. I must say, I don't think I've ever had quite that much vertical change in a day before. It's time for something new.
You never know what you're gonna come across.
Would you say these suits of armor are just regular plate?
Go ahead and roll. Well, I mean, yeah, you can just at a glance tell that they're essentially chain shirt and a few other armor bits and bobs. It looks like a standard field uniform, field armor for a soldier.
Pity. Probably could have used an upgrade that wasn't cursed.
Like a perception check from Nyril and Rakaa, please. Okay.
Good thing
Nyril,
Rakaz
you
was good.
are
I had a 2.
too busy observing the armor. Rakaa notices some movement among the roots at his feet.
Oh,
Mm.
I'm going to step away from the roots.
You see the movements, the roots, some of them lift up and begin moving toward the door that you just entered through.
Huh?
And then the rest of you are startled by a crash as the roots grip the inside handles of the door and slam them shut.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
That's kind of rude, isn't it?
All right.
The rest, all the vegetation in the room seems to writhe and come alive, and you see a lot of the mass gathering toward the northern wall of the room above the opening of the well. And some of the half-rotten vegetation begins to push forward these great woody forms with sagging leaves and moss, and they begin to take the shape of a face, an
Oh, no.
elongated, narrow face with towering, curling antlers. As the enormous visage of Lorik Thornheart emerges out of the plants before you. So, you are the 4 adventurers who went questing for the sword. And found it, I see.
Yeah.
My congratulations. Clearly your courage is formidable. I'm afraid your quest must end here.
I mean, no, it technically doesn't have to. I don't think it
Well.
will.
Presumably you have come here to my own home, looking for answers. I may be able to give them to you. I would welcome you to my home, but clearly it has seen better days. As have I.
Are you here, or are you manipulating the vegetation as we saw back at Stonemoss?
I am still overseeing the siege of Maplecrest. This is a
That-
way of communicating across great distances. Until recently, this was beyond my power. But one of
Incredible.
many gifts afforded by my new ally.
New ally, you say?
I'm
Who
sure
would that
you
be?
cannot imagine you have come this far without learning at least something of the Bramble's power.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Definitely.
you knew
But we
allies of
also
bush.
learned it was once your enemy.
True. And a deadly enemy it was.
It done turned your wife into a tree.
The Bramble was a threat to everything we held dear. It spread like a plague, corrupting crops and livestock, reducing bird folk and humble folk to mindless beasts.
And you
And so we fought it. A hard and bitter struggle. It cost us many dear friends. Would have cost me my life as well, if not for the very sword that you carry now.
Then how'd you still lose to it?
It was not to the Bramble we lost. The fires of the calamity. We were victorious, but diminished in our victory. Sadly, I did not recognize the signs of my own lieutenant, having been corrupted himself by the Bramble. And in our single-minded effort to keep this very vault secure, I didn't see when he slipped away. He attacked Idara. Her magic faltered, and that was enough for the calamity to overtake us all. This vault, which was to be the refuge for the last survivors of Alkheim, instead became their tomb. I had failed them. I had failed in my office as Night Protector. And I stood on the shores of the Dawn Sea, waiting to cross over, waiting for my wife to join me so we could make the journey together. When something took a hold of me, pulled me back into the shadowy woods, and I found myself waking up on the floor just outside those doors. I thought it a curse. But then I realized the power that lay within it. The bramble itself was diminished. Very little of it survived the fire. It wrestled me for control, tried to dominate me, but I managed to exert my will upon it. If it could bring me back from death, why not Idara? Why not all the people I had failed? Indeed, why not every one that we have lost across a lifetime of hardship and plague and famine and war? All of that could be undone. The bramble only needs sufficient power.
You say you brought them back. Were it for them, or were it for you? Things end, mate. I stood on that shore. I saw what's there. And I'm not afraid anymore. These people here, they're not afraid. They let us in. They let us in so that we can stop this bramble and free them. Stop you from inflicting this curse on others. What gives you the right to decide what life is? That's for each of us to decide in our own way, not to have it inflicted on us. You said the bramble, you thought it was a curse. It is. And you're bringing it.
I honestly did not expect you to understand. Terrible purpose I've been burdened with. You have not known the failure I have known. I recognize that my actions now are monstrous. But no matter what harm I cause, even to the point of death, it can all be undone.
No. No, it can't. I saw them up there. We all did. That ain't life. That's not life. That's being a living ghost. Being trapped. And your own wife sent us down here. And I told her, if we end this, it'll end them. And she just nodded. She's ready to go. You're the one holding her captive.
How dare you?
How dare I?
You know nothing of our love.
And you know nothing of mine. And you know nothing of love. If you're holding these people like this, you're keeping them from their true selves. How many loves have you destroyed?
is true, this is not what I had intended.
Then end it.
It is only because the bramble lacks the power to do more. It retreated to the withered elm because if it could inhabit a great tree at the height of its power, its spread would know no bounds. But the elm was too far gone. If another great tree were found, that would change everything. Alas, I do not believe you will be there to see it. Not as you are, anyway.
So you're a coward. I get it. No, I see.
I am a tactician.
A tactician
I am...
who's going to inflict himself on a man come morning, knowing he can't fight you because you're afraid of us. I get it. I see. And if you snuff us out, no one will have to know how afraid you are of a bunny with a sword. And friends with more power than you can wield.
A younger, less wise version of myself would be offended. For now, there is only the mission. As I said, I admire your courage. I would have been proud to serve with you in another life. Perhaps that will still come at some point. And you hear that rustling begin to redouble. A thick vine begins to rise out of the well and then curls down over top of it and begins to spool on the ground, giving purchase. Another vine comes out, like some creature beginning to crawl out. I would have preferred if I could be there to welcome you into our fold myself. You'd have a much better chance of retaining your minds. I suggest you think hard on what it is that tethers you to this world. You will find the seed's embrace difficult to bear, as I did. I hope to see you soon.
I think you have made a misjudgment of us. Everyone in this room is willing to sacrifice all that we are, protect those that you would inflict yourselves upon. We are not bound. We are free, no matter what you do.
Worthy adversaries indeed.
If you think us worthy, then how about this? After we get out of here, you hold off your little duel, and we'll come face you in person.
If you survive, there will be a time for that. For now. And he leans back and melts into the foliage wall. You see another tendril snaking up. You hear something enormous beginning to rise out of the well as more figures begin to emerge from the foliage around you. And that's where we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will be rolling initiative.
Oh man! All right, that's.
Oh,
Here we go.
Woof.
Oh, no.
Now Nyral's mad that he used his oil on the door instead of being able to make a firebomb. Nuts.
Well,
Oh well. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go hang out with chat for a little bit. Taffer has done some new fan art of Nyril, so we're also going to check that out
Good.
too. So,
Ooh.
so let's see here. Back at what 8:15 Central. Sound good? That way you guys can check out the art and take your break. And I'm going to hang out with chat. And here we go. Welcome back, everybody. And we all good to go?
I think so.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm good.
In that case, I shall bring up the board. Pop my back. Ow. I kind of missed some of those stretch alerts. Alrighty, so are we rolling for initiative?
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll.
See, the new stretch alert should just be you have to stretch every time someone rolls a 1. You stretching all the damn time. Would have had some good ones today. The real. All right, let's do the initiative and cry because we're probably all about to die. We're not gonna die. We're just gonna come back as horrible plant people. Lord promised us.
I'm just waiting for the plant from Little Shop of Horrors to come out and going, feed me, Seymour, feed me.
That would be pretty good. I mean,
Really quick.
We don't know what's coming up out of the well. It could be Audrey too.
Really cool quick tidbit about that movie, Little Shop of Horrors. The plant monster puppet thing, the reason it looks so good and so fluid is that they actually filmed that in double speed or half speed and then sped it up. And so it's filmed in 12 frames per second and then sped up to 24 so it can move and flop and things like that better. And the scenes where Rick Moranis is in the same shot, he is moving and acting at half speed for that. He's that good of an actor. Anyways, back to the game.
Yes.
All
I remember he had that one movie where he made himself really small, and I don't think any other actor could have done that.
No, I don't think he ever got back to full size again, though.
Right, let's battle some plants.
We're in the depths of the Alkheim Cathedral cloister, and Lorik has just delivered his villain speech. You see that there is something large crawling out of the well in front of you with these long plant tendrils, and these other blights have merged out of the walls. And first up in the order is Anthony.
Go, Anthony! Fight your big brothers.
Is going to just hop down off of Rakaw's shoulder and walk excitedly up toward toward his friends.
Oh
like,
no,
hey guys.
Anthony, you betray us.
And Keela, you're up next.
Oh, I don't want to shoot at his friends because then he's gonna be mad at me. Oh.
Is Anthony an ally?
He is not currently engaging with them as a.
No, he's like, hey, we're friends. All right. Well, why do I have to go first? Are these things like obviously advancing on us? That's
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I wanted to be like,
one thing. Yeah.
They're very clearly a threat. They're not just hanging out. Okay.
Yeah, and when when we roll initiative, it's because you see stuff is going down, and it's whoever is quickest on the draw goes first.
Okay, they're nasty. All right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of quickest on the draw, I'm gonna use that new toy. because it doesn't
All right.
require attunement, which is the best thing ever. And we're gonna shoot at blue up here.
Okay.
He's in range.
He is definitely in range.
So we're gonna shoot him. What? 14.
Let's see. For him, 14 hits.
All right. Let's give some of that, which he won't get sneak.
Yeah. No sneak, but he does take that bolt, sinks deep into his brambly chest.
Bonus, we're gonna attack with the auto fire crossbow again, because that's what it does.
Nice.
Have another.
Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna ask if that hits.
You fire the first one, and the that rack mechanism slides into place, and the second one is right there, ready to go. You fire it again, and you've got it dialed in now. It's sighted, and you hit center mass.
One.
Another good hit there, and you can very deftly slap in another 2 bolts, and it is ready to go for the next turn.
Excellent.
All right, so that's action, bonus action. Do you want to move?
I do. 5, 10, 15. I'm just gonna scoot away from those nasties and stay centered towards the rooms. These viney things don't come out. Actually, I'm gonna use the full 25 and go all the way back. Bye.
So next up is going to be these viney things, which are moving very ploddingly and slowly. This one gets right up next to Theron and is going to reach out with extending vine arms to try to wrap him up. And that's going to be a 23 to hit.
Oh,
23 will hit.
That is 7 bludgeoning damage. These vines wrap around you and lift you off the ground. You are grappled and restrained.
oh, geez.
Well, that's
Inconvenient.
that's unfortunate.
mhm.
This other guy is going to step forward past Anthony, and his vine arms come up and then plunge down into the ground. And as they do, they begin to bloom outward in a thick tangle of vines.
Jeez.
And
Whoa.
I need a strength saving throw from Rakaw, please.
You've been hit by the flower power.
Some of the vines reach up and curl around your ankles, and you also are restrained in place. And these plants are difficult terrain.
I think you're muted there. Mr.
Oh, I just got a little surprise. Taffer just gave out a gift sub in the channel, so thank you very much.
Oh, awesome. All right, so that is the full turn for these creatures. You hear that rustling from deep in the well. Whatever it is getting closer to emerging. Nyril, you're up.
Alrighty. Having Theron being, all wrapped up like that is no good for the party, so he is going to leap over yonder and try to slash this guy, just right across the back as best as he can.
Okay, you have advantage on this attack.
Alrighty. There it is.
26 will definitely hit.
Kaboom. And does that break his hold, or?
It does not, but you have carved this thing up pretty good.
All right. In that case, we're going to go for a second hit. 29, I presume, hits.
That also hits, and you slice straight down the center. Theron, you actually see the tip of the blade come out the front of the creature that's holding you, but it doesn't nick you, and you feel the vines slack and fall away around you as this creature is destroyed.
Can't have you out for a round. And
all right, Anything
Then,
else for your turn?
hang on, that was how much movement? I gotta measure real quick. So I was here, so I went, that's 20. Can't get as close as I want, but he's gonna advance on that one there.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay. Theron, you are
Yep.
no longer restrained. You are in difficult terrain.
Yep, as that thing was trying to like squeeze him, he was trying to push back and get any kind of wiggle room he could. As Nyral's blade came up and just made the whole process a whole lot easier for him. And just as the vines break free, he actually like kicks off and like breaks out of them, and the vines go flying, and he manages to do like a almost a full backflip. It kind of has to twist in the air to turn around and land on his feet. And as soon as he does, he springs forward and goes right into the first enemy you can see, which is red here.
Okay.
And as he does, the sword comes out of the sheath, and he just makes that motion part of the attack.
Alrighty.
For a 15.
15 will hit.
15 hits for
Mhm.
9 damages.
Nice.
All right. A good solid chop into the side of this thing. It sort of lurches a little to the side as you carve down pretty deep into its shoulder. It is
Yep.
still up and still.
Definitely going
Lurching
to follow
toward
that
you.
in with another swing
All right.
for a 16
That also hits.
for 14 damage.
You manage to slide into the same gash and you cut it deep. The whole arm and part of its side just sloughs off into the vegetation. It is still up, but it's looking very injured.
Yep, as I rip the sword free, just use that motion to follow in with a back kick. For 17.
Also hits.
Dang, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and that, again, center mass, it just erupts into its constituent vines, which fall into a heap. And it is also dead.
Yep,
Woo.
and as it goes down, let's see, that was 10 feet of movement to get there. So that's 20, 30, and 40 feet of movement. And I will end my turn.
Okay. That's going to bring us to Rakaw.
Nice work, mate.
So the terrain is still difficult despite the death of the creature, correct?
Yes, and you are actually still restrained.
Restrained but not grappled?
Being restrained also means you can't move.
Okay. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. One of that is restrained, like the full body, you're trapped. You can't attack or move, or is it just move?
You can attack, but you would do so with disadvantage. Any attacks against you would have advantage.
Okay.
So you're definitely hindered. You can try to break yourself free. That would take your action.
Yeah. I think as Rakaw is sort of fumbling, trying to wiggle free of the vines, he shouts, "Anthony, hide! Be safe!" And he will try to break
Yeah.
free of the tangly vineness.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Because I'm great at those.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not great at those. What?
A few
What
of
a
them seem to
surprise.
wriggle free, but you are still not able to get yourself unstuck.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, that's my turn.
Anything else with your turn? You still have your bonus action. Obviously, you don't have movement yet.
Bonus action, sweat drop.
I'll take it. All right. Next up is these two thorn creatures. I'm going to start with blue guy up here and as you've seen them before, he raises his arms, these spikes grow out of them, and he flicks them forward. 4 of them, one at each of you.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So it's going to be against Theron, a nat 1.
Darn it.
Against Rakaw, a 13.
Was that against armor class?
Yes.
Oh, it misses thanks to my new
Yay!
fancy shirt.
It
Woo!
it comes careening again and it hits you in the shoulder, and you feel the impact. It's like ah, but then you realize it just bounced off and kept spinning past you.
Nice.
So against Keela, that is an 8 to hit.
Nope.
And against Nyril, that is a 20 to hit.
Yep, that's gonna hit.
All right, that's 5 piercing damage. It manages to find its way
Owie.
in past your new shield.
That's rude.
The other one is going to take a rather than try to fling needles. You see, Theron, large curved thorns appear from its hand. It's going to take a swipe at you,
Oh, jeez.
and that is a 12 to hit.
Oh, that misses.
Yep. So you manage to deftly arc out of the way. Brings us back to the top of the order. And it is Antony, who is looks at you, doesn't seem to quite understand what's going on, but he's going to dive down into the mess of plants at his feet, and he is going to disappear.
Bye.
On initiative count 20, you see those tendrils that have been pooling at the base of the well and dragging something up. You begin to see something emerge. The first thing that hits you is a terrible stench of rotting decay.
Oh,
And you see these large, bulbous, yellow flower pods, much like the ones you saw in the roof of the maze in the Withered Elm that Keela was nearly dragged into. As that crests over the lip of the well, beneath it you see this roiling mass of vines and leaves and a large bulbous trunk holding it all together. An enormous plant monstrosity that looks a little something like this.
No.
Oh, Lord have
You
mercy.
see the remains of various creatures wrapped up in the vines
Oh, jeez.
as it pulls its way up out of the well.
That's
Yes.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, I have faith that I'm gonna have some nightmares.
All right. So the bramble seed is now on the board. Keela, it is your turn.
Oh, boy. Well, let's shoot the big boy then. You want to show your ugly face? Let's go. All right. Well, not face your ugly many faces of dead people. I don't know. Whatever. It's getting shot at.
All right. So let's see. You are currently outside your short range for your hand crossbow.
Okay.
You could step forward a little bit.
Oh, well then. Boop. How far does that put me? That's 35. I need to come forward one more, don't I? Yucky.
Yep.
All right. Yep. And yeah. So we'll do
Okay.
that. We'll roll.
23
outside.
will hit.
Okay. Great. Well, not the best.
Hey,
All
it
right.
still hits.
Well, you managed to, you deal some damage.
Yeah.
And it sinks in. It actually manages to go in through the eye hole of one of those skulls
Oh,
that
jeez.
is clutched against it.
All right. Yeah, let's go again. 17.
17 also hits.
And that's 10. Much better.
Nice.
All right. That's a nice Big hit. Anything else with your turn?
Oh, so I move forward to. Let's go. That was 5, 10, 15. Let's scoot over this way just a little. All right.
All right.
Alright.
The second bolt pierces a sort of a seed pod on the side of this thing, and you see a puff of this yellowish green dust that comes out of it. That rotting smell redoubles.
Nasty.
I
All
swear
right.
it wasn't me.
And at the end of your turn,
Yep. That's definitely the end of my turn.
with a legendary action,
Oh.
the bramble seed is going to snap out a long tendril toward Rakaw.
Oh, sorry, Raka.
That is a 15 to hit.
Hits.
You feel the vines beneath your feet actually let go as this tendril wraps around your midsection and
Oh,
hoists
Lord.
you up off the ground.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Mm.
All right. That brings us to, well, that thing doesn't have a turn because there's not one there. So let me take care of that.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So
Shouldn't Nyril go before the Icky? He's got 12.
yes, he should. I'm not sure how that happened. Okay, so Nyril, it is your turn.
Okay.
Observation.
Well spotted.
Oh boy. This is gonna be a challenge.
Yeah.
What do I do? I have to kill this blue thing first. Because I got to get in close to that so that Keela can get sneak attack on it. So Nyril's going to charge forward, and he's just going to lay out a huge just upsweep slash at this thing, not appreciating having been hit with one of its spikes.
Okay.
The 22 hit?
22 hits, and you bisect this thing with one blow, and it is dead.
Nice.
Get it.
And he is then going to continue the advance straight onto this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And with my second attack from that action, we're going to attack.
All right. 16 is going to hit.
Alrighty.
For 14 damage. Wow.
And it is time to pop an action surge. We're going to attack it again.
Okay. A 15 hits. Another
Alright.
12.
And
A 20 hits for 14.
Ooh,
yeah, he's
nice.
he's hacking off as many like vines and tendrils and slashing into these pods. He's just doing damage wherever he possibly can, hoping that he might distract it enough that it lets Raka go.
You begin carving deep into this thing, and more of that yellow dust is spraying in your face with every blow. The creature is shuddering and screeching terribly. It sounds like metal against dry ice. It is not at all happy. And with its next legendary action, if that's at your end of your turn,
That's the end of my turn.
Oh,
okay, it is going to try to grab you with its tendril.
Oh boy.
An 18 to hit.
Nyril is going to use the shield to bounce it away as he kind of sidesteps, so it does not hit.
no. Ooh.
Yeah, you're able to, and I think that just put you over the edge. That +1 shield for that hit.
Yep. Sure
So
did.
yeah. All right. So yeah, you knock the tendril away. It is not able to get a hold of you. That'll bring us to Theron because your dex is higher than this thing's.
Yep, and as he launched himself at this thing, he's just going to come right in with the sword and he's gonna do his worst, and
Mhm.
hopefully roll good, roll good.
Yeah.
That's pretty
dang.
good.
So that is
Kaboom.
a 2d10 plus 5. I'm just gonna roll that with this.
I mean, it had 5 hit points left, so
Yep,
you wanna-
and not to be outdone, I'm gonna bisect mine,
all right, yeah.
just like Nyrel did with his.
Mm-hmm.
And as he comes up, he turns and so there's a tendril that's coming out that's wrapped itself around Raka.
There is.
As I go by, can I try to slash through it?
You can. So make an attack roll.
Come on, real good. Oh, 12.
It sort of bends out of the way as your sword comes down. You're not able to make contact.
Nuts.
Gonna keep moving towards the thing and just kind of running along the tendril.
Okay.
And between my steps, I don't really have, a good follow through with the sword, but I'm just gonna swipe out at it with a bonus action and try to just hit it with like my free hand.
Sure.
A 15
15 will hit.
for 5 bludgeoning damage. That seems to be happening a lot.
All right.
Hey,
Well, you're
damage is
making
damage.
progress.
And I'm gonna go ahead and use the last of my movement to get right here.
All right.
Nice.
One more legendary action. It is going to try to wrap up Nyril again.
Okay.
13 to hit.
Nope. Once again, he sees that tendril coming, and this time he just slaps it away with the shield. It's an aggressive deflection.
All right. So it is going to, with its action, it's going to go ahead and attack.
Oh, really? I mean, it could take a nap if it wants. We'd be okay with that. Could read a book.
Have yourself a
some
long rest,
poetry.
buddy.
Yeah.
And it is actually, it is not liking all the damage that Nyril's doing to it. So some shorter, thornier tentacles come in and rake across you.
Mm.
Man, it is not rolling well right now. That's a 10 and a 9.
Oh, man.
One of those pods opens up and tries to chomp down on you. For a 14 to hit.
Nope. Nyril he's just watching everything that's happening, moving out of the way, clonking stuff with the shield and, trying to distract it.
All right. So that's going to bring us around to Raka. You are still grappled by this this tendril.
All right.
I tried, buddy.
I appreciate it. I guess he's just gonna try to maybe hit it with a cold blast to hit the tendril with a little cold blast to try to get it to let go.
All right.
Another strength check then.
Well, if you're making an attack, you can do that instead. You can attack the tendril.
It is going to be at disadvantage, right?
No, because you're not currently restrained.
Oh well, okay.
Oh.
Well,
he's not? Okay.
just
He's
grappled.
grappled.
Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Instead of hitting it with a ray of frost, then I think I'll Toll the Dead and cast some Blinky Crows.
At the creature or at the vine that's got you?
The vine specifically.
Okay. There's a 19 on the saving throw.
Well,
Those
that's a
wise
pretty
vines.
wise vine.
Yep.
It knows what it's doing.
Right?
It must have heard a lot of things through the grapevine.
Oh.
Ow.
Get out.
Right.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess if that failed, then I've got nothing else I can do.
Mm.
Okay. Legendary action.
Oh no.
It is going to spin suddenly, and its vines flare out and are going to start bludgeoning at both Nyril and Theron. I need strength saving throws from each of you.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The force of the vines take you by surprise. You are both knocked backwards 10 feet
Oh.
and prone. That'll bring us around to Keela.
How much damage was it?
No damage. You're just
Okay.
knocked backwards and prone.
Knocked backwards. Okay.
We just lost flanking and sneak attack.
Right. I know.
Oh no.
But however, that might actually be fortuitous. Hold on. I'm gonna go look at a quick thing because I dismissed it because you guys were within 5 feet, but you are now not within 5 feet. Gil's gonna load one of those explosive bolts into this bad boy.
Nice.
All right, let's fire. Except that's a miss.
11, unfortunately, is not going to hit.
Bonus action, go again. Anyway,
I believe it's still...
Oh.
You don't get the damage from the bolt, but it
Okay.
still explodes close enough.
Yes, I do. Oh,
Nice.
yay. So we'll still get some sort of fire
Please make
damage.
a dex save.
Yes, it has to make a dex save.
4.
So it need to make a 14, otherwise it
Mhm.
gets 4d6 fire damage. I believe is what it
Nice.
is. So let's just pop that way.
14 fire damage. It
Fire
does not like that.
Ooh.
Good. Well, I don't like it. So
Niles calls that nice hit. He doesn't see that it didn't actually impact.
it actually hit, but I mean there was a big explosion. So all right, and now for just regular crossbow number 2, that's an 18,
Yeah, that'll hit.
and that's just 9.
All right.
Interesting, but
This thing is definitely starting to look kind of rough.
good. Good.
All right.
I'm gonna stay right where I am, and that'll end my turn.
Okay. Legendary action. It's going to try to snap a... let's see.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Nope,
Nope.
can't do that. It's gonna go for Nyril again.
Oh, of course.
That's a 19.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
So the tendril coils around you, and you are grappled.
Yeah.
That brings us to your turn.
Am I lifted up as well?
Yes.
Okay. Yay, so I don't have to spend any movement getting up from being prone. Nice.
Right side.
Thanks for the lift there, mate. Let's see if I can give you a nice trim. And he's going to slash out at this vine.
Okay.
20?
20 hits, yeah.
Excellent.
Slices clean through this vine, and you fall back on your feet.
And he's just going to rush right back up at it with the next attack.
Okay.
Nice.
15 hits, 10 damage.
All right. He's just hacking at any growth on this thing that he can find and trying to avoid those skulls.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
All right. Theron, you're up.
Yep. As Theron gets knocked back, he uses half his movement to nip back up to his feet, and he's getting ready to focus his key to move in for a quicker attack. And he feels something when he does that's weird and new. And for a moment, the belt that he's wearing seems to kind of like heat up, almost to the point where it's almost burning him. And his eyes go red, And the next thing you see is his hands burst into flame, and he just goes right to the ground with them and casts Burning Hands at 2nd level.
Oh,
Whoa.
nice.
It's got to make a dex save of 15.
Oh, that's a 3.
Ooh.
It's a
This
very
guy is
dexterous plant.
rolling hot. Oh, yes.
It's going to take 10 fire damage.
All
Wow.
right.
Looks like it's a hot time in the old tomb tonight.
It's a 15-foot cone too, so it should just hit it, not hit Nyril.
And this, let's see. I'm just going to mark this area here. The flames or the plants are consumed. That is no longer difficult terrain. It's smoldering right now.
Mm.
Yep, and as the flames go up, Theron pulls his sword back up and rushes back forward and just gets into a attack position, and that is my turn.
Okay. On its turn. It's going to take a bite attack at Nyril. A 17 to hit.
Nope.
Not going to hit.
Eat shield.
And 2 tentacle attacks on Theron. (22) and a 23.
Oh, those both
Ooh,
hit.
boy.
First one is 13
Yeesh.
bludgeoning damage. The second one is 7.
Oof, that hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt me.
All right, that brings us to Rakaw. Still grappled.
At this point, I think Rakaw sees futility in attempting to break out of this vine. He's just going to try to go with the flow. He will.
I'm sorry, actually, one other thing before it ends
Uh-huh.
its turn, it's going to move a little closer.
Mm.
Would my Burning Hands have gotten that vine too?
No.
Aw.
Good try. Hang on, let me find it.
Oh, I see why. Sneaky DM.
I'm going to go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt at 1st level against the
Ooh.
bramble itself.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh,
Unfortunately, 10 is not going to hit.
No.
Mm.
I'm flailing around and the guiding bolt just goes wide, and I'm like, nuts.
Like
Glowing
nails.
spectral crabs skitter across the ceiling.
Mm. We're like,
Yep. Well, I guess that's my turn.
Okay, with a legendary action,
ugh.
it's going to be a another vine shoots out toward Keela.
No.
21 to
No.
hit,
No.
No.
Oh, no.
and Keela is grappled.
Oh, jeez.
And it's your turn.
Okay. Well, can I shoot at it even though I'm grappled?
You can.
Cool. Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay.
Is it at disadvantage or anything like that?
Nope.
Just
Straight roll.
up,
You'd be
straight up shooting at it.
Yep.
Okay. It's an
18 hits.
nice.
So it's
I think
actually 12.
17.
Yeah, 17 now
Yeah.
because I get my sneak thanks to Theron. Yay.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Nyril, I'm within 5 feet.
Are you though? Yeah, kind of.
He is.
He is. All right. You're like hanging onto its bum. All right, let's do it again. 25.
Yeah, it
Nice.
hits.
Oh, kaboom.
17.
Actually, you don't get the sneak attack
Oh,
again.
only
Oh.
7. But I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Oh, yeah.
Still as good.
That'll work. That'll do. Yeah, that ends my turn. I'm quite happy standing where I'm at.
That'll
Actually,
do
no,
it.
wait.
Take me
Hold
Falcon.
on. Wait. Let me let me see something here.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I am gonna move.
You can't. You're grappled.
Oh, that's right. Fine. Okay, then yeah, it ends my turn. Stupid thing.
All right. And has not been working out so well, but it is going to try to snare Nyril once more. As a 13 to hit.
Mate, you just don't learn, do you? Nope.
Nyril, you're up.
I think he even just like
working on the
smacks it with
others.
like the flat of the sword. He's like, nope.
Bad
And
plan.
okay, so I have a quick question.
Mhm.
Where I am now, is it considered flanking, or do I have to move down to be absolutely directly opposite Theron?
You would have to. You could move down 1 square, but you would have to move down.
Okay, just wanted to be sure. That's going to put me in the wonderful field of loveliness. Okay, yep, we're going to move down, and he is going to try to give this thing a pruning within an inch of its life, preferably beyond an inch. So,
Okay.
does a 30 hit?
A 30 will hit. And I have to ask you, how do you want to do this?
Oh man, I think as he's looking at how much he's hacked away, he's looking for the core of this thing, the fibrous mesh that's putting it together, and as he sees it, he can feel almost the power that Gaspard is giving him through the sword, and he just plunges it straight in and just kind of yanks it around. He's basically trying to carve out a cone of it just to sever anything he can. Just mess it up.
You get in there deep, and that yellow dust is shooting all around you, and you feel like I can go a little deeper, maybe a little deeper, and you are pretty much waist deep into this thing, carving up anything you can find. The whole thing is shuddering all around you. Keela and Raka, you feel yourselves flailed back and forth as the tentacles are seizing up around you. And with a shriek, the thing begins to collapse in on itself. It begins to, the dust pours out in huge volcanic gouts all over you. You are all covered in it.
Ugh.
And then it folds in on itself and begins to rot before your eyes.
Yeah,
As it does, so does all the other plant life in this room.
No.
Uh,
No, our buddy.
Oh,
Oh,
Anthony, no.
Sydney.
no.
hang on, I need to move. Oh, there. And as the foliage that the vine blight had created rots away, you do see a little huddled wooden form look up, like, and Anthony is still there, looking very confused.
Yay.
Yay.
But you see all the other the vines, the shrubs. Bless you.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Allergic to narrowly averted tragedy.
A lot of dust in the air. Oh, scares me.
Yeah. You're not kidding.
Wow.
But yes, the dust begins to settle,
Oh, wow.
and you are victorious.
I am going to prestidigitate every speck off of me.
It's going to take a while.
And when I'm done, I will happily deep clean the others as well.
Please.
Oh man. So Niall's gonna look around as the dust is still settling. He's like, everyone okay? Oh,
I took a few hits, but I'm good.
it's not a rose I want to smell again. Ah.
No, that's deeply unpleasant. Ugh.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, there it is. Oh, good heavens.
It gets in your mouth. Ugh.
Ugh. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I'm gonna be tasting that for weeks. Oh,
I'm not
Ew.
sure which is going to give me worse nightmares, the vision of it or the smell. Oh.
It's definitely gonna. Kayla like smells at her scarf. Is like, oh, it's never gonna come out.
Maybe
Ugh.
I should invent a magical laundry.
Oh, something.
All right.
And we're
Well,
gonna have to cross the river on our way back, anyways. Niall's he kind of kicks this rotting mass of plant matter just to make sure it doesn't have any other surprises.
I really hope we ain't supposed to go down there.
No, I think that was its home.
Wonderful. Well, Seed's dead.
Yep. Now,
Mission accomplished.
are all these other plants also dead, like up here?
Yes,
Okay.
they are.
Rakaa is going to kind of gently push Antony behind him with a wing, and then, despite the fact that this is dead, he is going to cast Toll the Dead on it, just to be sure.
Double tap.
All
No
right.
kill like an overkill.
Dong.
The sepulchral crows caw their eulogy, and you just see what's left flatten, and some of the parts that are still standing up begin to crumble under the necrotic energy.
Oh,
Gross.
Antony, are you okay?
Looks down over himself, knocks on his arm, looks up at you.
Hmm.
Looks like he's all right.
Oh.
Knock on wood.
Oh,
Knock on wood. Oh, good. I'm glad you made it out okay, little bud. This is not for baby shots.
So that's all dead down here, but he's still here. I wonder what that's gonna mean for up there.
oh no.
Let's go find out.
Yeah. Up we go.
And are all
Alright.
the tendrils, roots that have reached out all dead too?
Everything has shriveled up. Everything's looking blackened. You see, as you watch, a lot of it is decaying and crumbling beneath you.
Oh wow.
It looks like the seed's influence was reaching far.
Oh wow.
Niall knocks off the decaying roots from the door to get the handles free and opens it. And
Not
Yanks
too
us
hard
on
to
out.
do that. Yep. You are able to push your way out and work your way back up to the entrance.
Yep.
And you're heading on upstairs.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. You emerge back out onto
Oh.
the floor of the cathedral, and you see the whole congregation of blights that was attending have all collapsed, and they're rotting much the way everything else was downstairs. But you see Idara still standing there, looking just as she did when you went downstairs. And the tree, the alder tree, is still standing, still healthy and green.
Well, that's good.
She looks at you, puts a hand upon her chest, and bows deeply.
Nyril kind of nods in return, and then he's like, just a moment here. I think I have something for you. And he's going to unsling his pack and pull out that kind of wooden statue of what looked to be Lorik and Idara, and extend it out to her. Find this. I reckon it's yours.
She takes it in her hand and looks over it, cradling it very thoughtfully, and looks at you and bows again. Looks down at the figure of Lorik, takes her staff, and she touches it to the trunk of the tree again. Just as before, you see moss and lichen crawling over it to describe a new scene. And you see Lorik marching at the head of an army. And as he marches, plant-like tendrils begin to crawl out from his form, very much like the seed that you just destroyed.
Oh.
You watch as he is moving now away from what looks like a city under siege, crossing the countryside, and now moving to a very familiar hill on which is built an abbey surrounded by a wall of stone and an enormous willow tree at its center. You see him walk to the abbey and point to the walls. Massive trees move in and carve the walls to pieces. Lorik strides in through the ruins to the foot of the elm and places his hand on the bark. You see those tendrils race out across his arm into the side of the elm, and then from there they grow like wildfire, encircling it completely, like a kudzu out of control. It begins to choke out the entire surface of the elm. Long strands of thorny vines hanging from every branch. And you see a black stain begin to spread across the abbey, across Embershire, all the way to Humblewood and the furthest reaches of Everden. And then the image dissipates.
Is that what happened? Or what will be?
She points to you when you say, "What will be?"
Hmm.
Then
No, it won't.
Lorik's another seed, isn't he?
She nods.
And that's what's keeping you alive. In this tree alive.
She shakes her head.
Is there another seed?
She shakes her head. And then she points across the temple to the shrine in the northeast corner. The branching antlers that are wrapped in ivy. The shrine of Kerith.
your own nature.
She nods.
So the amaranthine actually do help? Aro kind of blanks a bit.
She
Honestly
points
surprised.
with her staff toward the sword on your hip.
I don't think it's an accident that I found my way to you.
Sorry, I'm just still getting used to this being real.
Is Anthony still with us?
He pokes his way up out of the stairwell, looks around,
Hmm.
little disoriented. He
Uh,
quickly skitters around and hugs Rakaw's leg.
Aw.
Aw.
Darren kind of gestures at Anthony and goes, "This one with you?"
You see her wooden brow furrow, and she steps close, kneels, and examines Anthony, who reaches up and knocks his fist against her nose.
He did that with me below.
And she looks troubled for a moment. Looks to you. And then her eyebrows just raise in surprise. He just gestures to you like, okay.
Is he still part of the bramble?
She shrugs. She doesn't know.
It's interesting. He helped us
Well.
below some.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to control the seed or anything, but he was able to open some paths for us. Presumably fighting against the will of the bramble.
Maybe not fighting against it, but working in ways that weren't against the bramble's interest.
Oh, it seemed intent on keeping us away from certain places till we threatened it with fire.
Well, you said something earlier about maybe it was a child. Maybe it's exactly it. The curiosity, the genuine nature that they seem to have. It's not against the bramble, but it's got its own spirit, kind of like what Lorik was saying about himself. Maybe it found curiosity to be itself.
Rakaw looks at Anthony for a long moment, and he says, I don't know what you are, but you are you. Be proud of that. Explore it. Maybe you can be more than that thing down in the tomb. And he will give Anthony a little head scruffle.
He looks up at you thoughtfully. And he sits down and takes its top out of its chest and begins spinning it.
Maybe it's best if Anthony stays here with Adara. For now, at least. Because where we're going, it's nothing but trouble and danger.
Will you care for him?
Yadara looks up at the alder tree, down at the little twig blight, raises her eyebrows, and then nods.
Merry Christmas, here's a puppy.
Big child.
I know it's an unusual thing, and I would not normally pursue this, but I keep thinking about how Trill hoped that some good would come out of pursuing knowledge of the bramble. Don't know if this is good, but I think it deserves an opportunity to be.
Even the worst of us can change if we try. Given the right friends.
Wow.
Helico looks over at Nyril and goes, don't forget that he apparently parts of the bramble. Those that were under its influence can be good too.
Yeah, but I mean, if he goes bad, he's pretty easy to smash.
It's okay, Anthony. We're not going to smash you.
Not exactly my point, but
Yeah, Anthony moves further away from Nyril.
don't worry, Anthony. He wants to kill my friend too.
Yeah, he talks a big game, but he's kind of a softie.
And he's slow, he wears all that armor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who killed the big old nasty plant down there?
Which of us is wielding a magical godsend sword?
Well, I mean, that probably helped a bit, but...
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably get a move on if we're going to make it to Maple Crest. He
That's
looks
right.
around at all the...
Come on, bunny with a sword. Let's go. She's just like...
Oh, I'm gonna regret them words, aren't I?
Oh, yeah, you are.
I say bunny. He's gonna look around at all the fallen, bramble folk, and then back to Idara and say, "I'm sorry about your friends, but hopefully they're free now."
She nods.
Hello there.
And then she reaches down toward Anthony, who very cautiously reaches up to take her hand. And then she steps into the alder tree. You see her form begin to merge with it. Anthony recoils for a moment, and then she looks down and smiles, and they both step into the tree together.
Oh.
Yay.
Recall will step up and put a wing on the tree. Just thinking about them.
You see 3 more asphodel flowers bloom at the foot of the tree.
Oh. Well, we might be able to use these. I hope you don't mind if I pick them. And he'll just casually collect them.
Thank you, Dara. Hopefully we can make things right. Well, I think we have a morning duel to muck up, right?
What a ways to go to get there on time.
Yeah.
He's gonna look over at Theron, who if I remember right, took a couple hits from those vines. You good enough shape there, mate.
I'm roughed up, but I can keep moving.
Will this help? He's gonna extend just a regular potion of healing.
We should probably save those in case we really need them.
I think I might be able to give you a little boost, and Recall will step over and cast Cure Wounds at level 1. Give you. Wow. Okay. Good. 8 healing points. That's nice.
Nice.
That helps.
Yep.
He's still pretty
Not
beat
bad.
up, but he's looking all right.
All right, so
Time to leave this dead city behind.
Yep. And
Yep.
let's go help another one not join this one's fate.
Well, if we're lucky, maybe this will bloom again someday.
yeah,
I was going to
make your
advance.
way.
As he does, he's going to kind of lean in to say to Theron, so let's go to question. Presuming everything goes right, and after all this is over, you said you've got a full-length mirror? Could I see that at some point?
Sure. It's just a mirror.
Yeah, but it's like big. I've never seen all myself before.
You can, if you want it, you can have it.
Yes, I will take it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Before we actually leave the shrine, I think Rakah is going to take a few minutes to cast Invoke the Amaranthine.
Okay, you can certainly do that.
Give me that 3rd level spell.
Yeah. And you do feel the presence coming to meet you here, despite the very dilapidated state. It seems that that connection has been preserved by Idara's careful administration.
Okay.
9 and a 16. All right.
Let's make the 16 an attack roll. And let me look at something real quick. I think I'm going to make the 9 a saving throw. No, you know what? Let's make them both attack rolls, because reasons. Boom. All right.
So are you heading out?
I think so.
You make your way.
We ride.
You make your way back out from the cathedral, out to the desolate streets of Alkheim. And this time, you hear nothing.
Oh.
As you move around, you see several more piles of decaying plant matter that might have been blights, might have been the townspeople. Whatever they once were, they've returned to rest now. It seems the seed had been sustaining everything in Alkheim. Everything except for the alder tree and Idara herself.
I've never seen a proper dead city before, but don't think we got time to sightsee.
No.
Not sure there's much to see anyway.
Well, at least it's as it should be now.
Yeah. Consumed by fire and then overgrown with a pestilent weed. But now
Well.
it's back to the earth.
Let's go do a little bit more weeding, shall we? Now, that right there is a sentence I have never said before in my life.
I'm proud of you. You're learning new sentences.
No, I mean, I know I've never said that before because I never volunteered to weed. Yep, never mind. Let's just leg it.
I might have another option. I mean, I grabbed these when we were in Trill's lab, and Keela pulls out of her pocket 2 little cricket figurines.
They're neat.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're kind of weird, but I kind of get a feeling that, I mean, it's Trill we're talking about here, right? There's got to be more to him.
Oh god, they might explode.
Well, I wouldn't, if I were Trill, I wouldn't make crickets that explode. I mean, that's
No.
just sort of
If I were
mundane.
Trill, I wouldn't make a grave that explodes. But she did that.
Oh, she didn't
I
make
mean-
a grave that explodes. She made a trap.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
a grave and it exploded.
well, here's the whole thing. You see these crickets, they got saddles on. Kind of like, well,
Mounts.
yeah.
But
And
Well,
there was this little scroll that has words on them, and well, I don't know how magic works, but Keela kind of puts them down and steps back and is like, Keela.
As you say the
There's
command word Akita, the
E, not an L.
Yeah.
I have it written.
yeah, I had to look up which one was which. So
bronze.
the bronze cricket begins to shudder, and it begins to vibrate. Sort of scoots along, and as it picks up energy, it begins to spin faster and faster. And then there's a puff of smoke. Smoke clears, and in its place, you see a full-sized riding cricket.
I
With
knew
a
it.
brown carapace and a large saddle with 2 seats and 2 sets of stirrups. And the cricket reaches up with its 4 legs and begins cleaning out its antenna, and its wings begin to vibrate with a I can never whistle this time of night. I don't know if
Will
that
this
came through at
help?
all, but
Yep, it did.
yes, it begins to chirp, which fitting the night. It's you haven't heard such a pleasant nighttime sound since you've been in the Ashlands, and it is seems to be watching you, Keela, as if awaiting.
All right, that's one. That's for 2 of us. So that means the other one, and she pulls back out the paper and goes, Campestris?
And similarly, the steel cricket begins to vibrate and spin and puff, and you have a black riding cricket. A little, the brown one seems seems very calm and even tempered. The black one is definitely twitchier and a little more high strung, but also saddled.
All right then.
Oh, I'm going on
This
that
should
one.
bad.
help things a little bit better.
It's too bad neither of these are red. You know, the red ones go faster.
Well, we could paint it red later, but let's go.
I always thought it was stripes what made them go faster. Oh well.
just don't try to put speed holes in them, please.
So our raiding crickets have 60 feet of movement.
Do they fit 2 people per saddle?
Yeah.
do.
There's
Hmm,
2 and 2. So
okay.
Nyril
Never
totally
shy.
wants to get on the twitchy black one.
Hill's gonna go for the brown one.
Theron will hop on the brown one with Gila.
I guess that leaves 1 spot for recall.
Yep. Come on, Rico. You're with me. It's gonna be
Nyril,
fun.
make an animal handling check, please.
Oh no.
Oh,
Not
no.
bad.
It
He looks
lurches
at
a
it and goes,
little,
now you be nice to him.
and it lurches a little under you, but you manage to keep your saddle. You notice the stirrups on the side are designed that you can get your feet really deep in there for a good solid grip.
Yeah, I think these are gonna be necessary. haven't ridden one of you since oh man, it's been a while since I stole one of you.
Well, hold on tight. Let's see if we can't make some tricks.
All right.
Let's head back towards Maple Crest then.
Yep.
Now moving faster. Yay!
Oh, yes.
Thank-
So you notice immediately you are making much better time. Both these crickets are with a mix of very rapid running and a few strategic leaps over larger obstacles. You begin quickly making headway. You still see signs of predators every now and then, but for the most part, they look at your mounts and realize that's just too much effort to chase down.
They got chopped.
So now instead of 1 hour per hex, it takes half an hour per hex.
There we
Oh,
go.
nice.
So as we're dashing through, let's have a perception check from each of our cricket drivers. So
Okey-dokey.
Nyril and Keela.
Oh dear. Nyril should not be driving. He's having too much fun.
All right. So Nyril, you are making really good time. Your cricket is a little faster than Keela's. And you're having the time of your life just speeding through the forest, feeling the wind against your face. And Keela, you notice directly ahead in Nyril's path, there is a section of ground that just seems a little too smooth
Uh-oh.
among the trees.
That ain't good.
Oh dear.
So he's ahead of you, but he's not into it yet.
Okay.
He's driving it like he stole it, 'cause that's the only way he knows how to drive a cricket.
Let's make use of more magical stuff.
Grand
So
Theft Cricket.
it's only gonna make a sound, but hopefully it's enough to make you stop, because I ain't shouting. Keela's gonna pull the little whistle up from where she's got it around her neck and blow and aim it towards Nyril so he hears a sharp whistle in his ear.
Yep.
Oh god.
So yeah, Theron, you're right behind Keela. You hear nothing but just a little rush of air as she blows through this whistle. Nyril, you hear a very shrill, sharp whistle in your ears.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Nyril's ears were already back from the wind, but not flattened. But once that piercing they just flatten. He's like, ah, and not knowing where it's coming from, and that sudden tensing from the noise, he kind of yanks back on the reins of the cricket because he has no idea what just happened. But going fast and not knowing what's happening is usually a bad idea.
So you yank back on the reins, and the cricket lets out a very indignant, loud chirp. And its forelegs begin pawing at the ground, trying to stop itself. And as it just comes to a stop, one of the legs sinks down into a wet puddle that is completely covered with a layer of substrate that makes it very hard to distinguish from the surrounding ground. Little bloop, and the cricket yanks backwards. You see its leg is stuck in the muck.
Wait,
It's
come on,
trying to pull itself free.
come on back. And he's, trying to like urge it to like turn or something like that to get a bit more traction. And the ears are still ringing from that whistle. And he just turns around. He says far too loudly to Rakox. His ears are still ringing. What the bloody hell was that?
Recall, you didn't hear anything.
And Keela's
you-
going to bring the other one up alongside, but back a little bit from where that thing is. And be like, I was trying to warn you.
I didn't hear anything. Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty nice.
Oh, I didn't. It was ruddy loud. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. That's kind of the point. Sorry. Didn't mean for it to be that loud. But
Recall
Didn't
is
know how else
gonna
to get you to stop.
Recall is gonna maybe try to like freeze the ground around the cricket a little bit, not like, you know, to trap it, but to sort of make it so that it's less mucky and maybe easier to pull free from.
Sure. I will say make an animal handling check.
No.
Me? Oh, goody. This'll go great. That's
It did
wow.
go great.
All right, yeah,
Nice.
you managed to find a way to create a little traction with some cooler ground, and the cricket settles down and then slowly pulls its leg free, and with a pop comes out. See it shaking its hairy leg very rapidly, and little globs of mud fly everywhere. It settles back, takes a few 6-footed steps backwards, and begins furiously combing its muddy foot with its other foot, trying to get it clean.
Oh, Recall will help with that. Press to digitate some of the gunk away and say, there, good boy, and pat the cricket.
Yeah, it chirps a little in appreciation.
Right.
So you now see, now that you know what to look for, you can see the outline of this swamp, very similar to what you saw as you were crossing the ashlands with Astereth in tow.
Okay. Well,
But now that you see it, not
go
too
around.
hard to avoid.
Cool.
Well, maybe I can also be on the lookout and try to freeze any patches we might accidentally jump into.
Worth a try. I don't want to lose speed, but definitely be careful. Please.
Good looking out.
That's what I do.
Thank you for that. Just maybe not as loud next time.
Yeah, it's the first time I use that thing. I'll see if I can do it better next time.
I appreciate it. So,
All right.
round this mess we go.
Yep.
Manage to skirt your way around. It takes a little longer, but you are able to get back on track. And
Eurobeat
you advance on.
intensifies.
You are beginning to see some parting in the cloud cover that seems to always cover the ashlands. You see stars above, and a gibbous moon that's shedding enough light that it's not complete darkness anymore.
Right.
and the moonlight itself seems to be reflecting off of something on the horizon.
Must be the river. Not quite sure how we're going to get across that yet. I know these guys can jump, but not that far.
No, we probably should have arranged for a boat.
Okay. So go ahead, and as you are continuing to advance, let's have another pair of perception checks. First of all, who is leading?
I think Nyril has dropped back to let Keela lead because he totally didn't see that swamp.
Okay.
Oh, that's not awesome.
All right. And then Nyril, go ahead and give me. Oh, okay, that's good.
I can re-roll that.
Oh, you can, can't you?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
There we go.
Hey!
All right.
Hey!
All right. So you are making your way through the forest. It's beginning to thin out a bit. There's still some thicket underfoot that does slow your progress to some degree, but you can see up ahead. You're beginning to get close to a clearing. Keela, as you are leading, you see another source of light ahead. Actually, two sources of light, flickering yellow, light of a campfire.
Yeah.
And as you are getting closer, you can also see some other shadows. You see the form of a few tents, a few humanoid figures moving about, shaded by the firelight, and what looks like a picket fence, sharp stakes pointing outward in a defensive position. This looks like a somewhat fortified camp.
Mm. Definitely gonna pull up and stop.
Nyril
Kind of look.
pull up alongside.
Are we expecting company out here?
I mean, there is bandits out this way, but I don't know.
More worried that's some chunk of Lorik's forces.
They wouldn't have a fire, though, would they?
I don't know. I mean, if it's like some of the ones we've met that are still people, probably.
Nyril, you notice as you've now come to a stop, there is some movement in the thicket, not directly behind you, but nearby, crossing toward this campsite. And with that perception roll, you recognize a very familiar figure
Oh,
of a
Lord.
short, stocky rat
That's what I was thinking.
with an eye patch and a whip swinging at his side.
Oh, today's getting better and better. It's Scrag.
Behind him, two more figures in armor that are between them, carrying what looks like a bundle of cloth, but it's struggling mightily.
Do we all see this?
Nyril spots it and is able to point it out. I would say you might not be able to see with quite as much detail. Theron would be able to,
Should, yeah.
with your dark vision.
Greg, huh?
Yep, it looks like they got somebody.
We should probably investigate.
I'd say we
Why
use these
not?
crickets and intercept.
All right.
So that might...
I mean, it's not exactly my preferred thing. I'd rather sneak up on them.
That'll work too. That That whistle thing. You
Yeah.
reckon you could blow that louder?
Well, I can try.
Maybe aim at the, I know he's a small target, but that little heap of useless traitor scum out there.
Yeah, I can do it. You want me to do it now?
Well, let's get a little bit closer and really catch him off guard.
All right, then.
So, all right. Gonna close in. On mount or off mount?
I'd say we probably need to dismount for this.
Yeah.
We can. I believe I'm just reading. I want to see if we can resummon them if I turn them back into statues.
You can.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Keela's gonna say both. After we dismount, Keela's gonna say both words and turn them back in her pocket.
Okay.
I like these.
Darren's gonna lean over and just tell Keela, just whatever happens, just stay out of sight. Do your thing.
Really try.
Whatever happens, Scrag is mine.
And I
All
can
right,
take
so-
an opportunity shot on them, but I mean, you're the one with
Going
the
to
sword.
So you're planning to try to intercept them before they make it to the camp?
I think that is our plan.
Yep.
Okay.
And I guess when we get close-ish, we'll say within. What's my range in this thing again? 30 and 120. All right, so I would say, well, how close do we want to get? I'll throw that out there to the group before I blow this whistle.
I think as close as we possibly can. I think the whistle's mostly just to throw Scrag off guard and confuse him, so we can open him up to some good old attacks he's not expecting.
Well, the whistle can go up to 120 feet, so we definitely will be well within that, I would think. We want to say about 60? Try and get within
Sure.
60 feet?
That's within
be able
casting
to-
range.
I'll say it's within casting range, should be able to close the distance pretty quick.
Yeah, it'll take both Darren and Nyril 2 turns to get into somebody.
You want to try for more like 45?
45 gets me in melee range without dash.
Okay.
I'll have to use dash, but that'll still get me in range. So that's good enough.
All right. Then we'll sneak up to 45 feet. At least Keela will. I don't know if you guys want to hang back. Well, no, because everybody's going because we want to make sure we're in range. So, yeah.
I will hang back at 60 feet just because I
That's-
don't need to get closer.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's probably a good idea. Yep.
All right.
And
so
I'm
the
also less stealthy.
That's
other
true.
two of you, the other three.
And that's where Twitch crashed. We'll be right back in just a moment as I get things corrected. There we go. Okay, hopefully we are now back. Apologies about that. I do not know what happened. It just straight up crashed, and yeah. So thankfully the recording looks to be okay, and we're going to go ahead and back up a little bit, and then we will pick up from about where it went down. So my apologies. I have no idea what happened. My Twitch stream manager is still showing me that I am not online, but it looks like you guys can see me on OBS. So I have to be working just through OBS now for this. I think Twitch just kind of took a dump and crashed everything, which does occasionally happen. It's rare, but it does happen. So, alrighty, we are back. It sounds like we cut out in the middle of setting up ranges for approach. So let's go ahead and go back to that.
back and says, I thought I told you to put a sack on her head.
Sorry,
I
Rastavar.
did.
Hang on. In the reset, it was cutting off sound to all of you. So I have now got that fixed. A lot of things apparently crashed hard. When OBS goes down,
Technology.
it's so tied into so many other things in the system, especially when you have a Stream Deck and a Go XLR and a lot of things. So I think I've now got it sorted. Levels are coming in from everywhere. So
All right.
Rastavar, if you want to back that up again, we'll start this one more time. And if you're watching on this online, this was a seamless transition.
Absolutely. There was nothing wrong with any of this.
Yeah,
All right,
YouTube viewers, this was a
like
perfect session.
All right. Everybody is trying to... They're in the middle of making your approach when there is an outburst from this group of creatures just across this little stream. One of the armored figures suddenly holding this struggling bundle suddenly yelps, "No! That little pestilence bit me!" And Scrag looks back over his shoulder and says, I thought I told you to put a bag on her head. I did! Well, whose fault was that then? The rat turns back, moves toward the bound bundle, and with a coiled whip smacks it on the side, and it suddenly flinches back. Now you behave yourself, little chickadee, or we'll tie you to a long line and go fishing for pike. You hear me?
Just as he says chickadee, that Keela brings that whistle to her beak and blows as absolutely hard as possible, aiming to just like obliterate his eardrums if at all possible.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Call her
you
chickadee.
see Scrag suddenly reach up to his ear, and the two other bandits, of course, don't hear it and have no idea what's going on. But in the confusion, the struggling figure manages to shake off the bag over its head. And Keela, you recognize your sister, Kreia.
Idiot.
Oh.
And I think that's where we're going to leave the cliffhanger.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh,
The
boy.
bandits are about to get
don't
messed
call
up.
me or my sister chickadee.
Mhm.
Coming for you now.
You've unlocked Murder Keela.
She would like to rage.
Yes. And suddenly, Keela has a point in Barbarian. Where did that come from?
All right, let's see. I do have a portrait to show all of you.
Oh, is it? Are we
Nope.
seeing the right layer?
Okay. It looks like actually more. Let's see. Maybe I need to reload Roll20
Let's say there's no, like, it was just us on the map, too.
Yeah.
because I actually changed a few things. All right. I don't know. I reloaded Roll20. Everything looks the same on my end, but I'm still seeing on the stream. It hasn't been changed. I don't know what's going on there.
Well,
I think this is a night of technical difficulties, and
it is.
we're going to have to just pick up from here next time, and hopefully it'll all work out, and we're going to get right into what is absolutely going to be a complete massacre of these poor, unfortunate villains.
They deserve everything that's coming to them.
Yeah. But
All right.
alrighty. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for playing. This has been an awesome session. We just wrecked that briar seed. Oh my gosh.
You did.
Yeah.
I think this just happened.
Yeah,
It
Naira
could have
got
been a lot
super
nastier.
lucky.
It rolled really badly.
Well,
Always
that's because it's big, and that's your law of when Rastavar has a big baddie, it rolls really low.
Yes, it does.
And you made this one extra big.
It's true.
Except for the birds.
Oh yeah.
That's true. Those things.
Those
that hurt us.
Got some
They were
good
only
hits.
large.
Got some good hits on Theron too.
Mhm. Oh man.
Ooh.
Lots of good moments tonight.
crazy.
But before we actively close out the stream, I will just give a brief on-video shout-out to Angel Spirit Wind, who unfortunately lost a close friend recently. That sucks, and I'm just gonna, in the Twitch chat, type a little group hug, so everybody get in.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yep.
definitely.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that, Angel Spirit Wind. I went through that myself very recently, and I know how hard it is. If you ever want to talk, feel free to reach out to me. I will be there for you as best as I can. I know sometimes it doesn't always help, but if it does, just let me know. So I know how it is. It's hard. So,
But
it'll get better.
yeah.
It's going to be rough for a bit, and we're there for you. So.
Wow. Well, not to end on a down note, but it was a good session tonight, everybody. I really enjoyed it, and thank you, as always, to our awesome DM, Rastavar.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you,
He really does
Rastavar.
play everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It was great. Always great to get back into the game.
It
All
is.
right.
You've made one heck of a campaign, and this has been just a tremendous amount of fun. You've put in so many, perfect moments for the characters and abilities for us to shine in RP, and that took a lot of thinking and a lot of planning on your part, and I love it. So thank you so much for letting us be our characters and putting up with our shenanigans.
And encouraging them, i.e., with Antony.
Yes. Yep. Anthony better make it.
That was not expected. But
I love it,
sometimes
though.
you just run with it.
Yep.
Great.
Sometimes you just end up with party pets just out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. Lethal friends.
All right. Well, it is later for, I think, all of you than it is for me. So I should let you go. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for playing with me again on the stream. I'm going to hang out with chat here. So
Ooh.
I will catch you all later. I'm going to hang out with chat. Have a good
All
night,
right.
everybody.
Yes.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Thanks.
And thanks for putting up with the stream crash. All right, here I come.